What's up, everyone? Studfit here. We have another episode of Kart Talk. We have a number of awesome guests here today, but before we get to that, just so thankful for you sticking around, Sammy, unlike Tabor. Appreciate you joining us for another episode of Kart Talk, man. Welcome.
Thank you, my friends. Good to see you all. Some new faces, some fans and friends.
Talking about fans and friends, we have Frenzy fans. That's a tongue twister. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And then we have three brand new faces to you guys, but some good friends of mine from over the years. We have Callum, Anke, and Knights. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hey guys, nice to be here.
Thanks for having us.
So we will get into each of their backgrounds and get to know a little bit about them. And we have a nice icebreaker before we get into some meaty questions. We'll just go ahead and start. Actually, I think I've known Knights here longer than anybody here on the screen. So we'll go ahead and start with you, Knights. Tell a little bit about yourself, how you got started in the game, a little bit about yourself and
when I first
where you are
started the game, I started from launch. I didn't think much of the game. I was like, the last time I played Mario Kart was like Mario Kart Wii in 64, and that was like ages ago. So, like when I heard about it, I was like, oh, okay, I'll be playing on Calamari Desert soon. So that was like a throwback. I started playing it. And I was like getting really into it, like, oh, like this is actually a nice change of pace. I was really liking like the direction of it. I was kind of confused about how everything worked, and, like the scoring, but I decided to become a Gold Pass member, and I was like, holy shit, this is actually a really, really fun game. And I just kept on playing every day grinding for hours and hours. I just kept on like. And I love the game. Eventually, I started at one point of the game. I reached my breaking point of being a Gold Pass only, though. It was around like Wedding Tour, where I started having a breakdown where I couldn't get what I want anymore. I was always pulling for like Dixie Kong, all the other drivers I wasn't getting. So at Wedding Tour, I just broke, and I started buying packs like crazy. I started spending money I didn't want to spend, and I spent nearly over $2,000 on this game now, which is like kind of sad. I never thought when I first started playing this game I would spend that much money, but yeah. So it brings me joy, but I also kind of when I look back,
but it brings you joy.
But now, like I'm happy where the game is gone. I love the changes. I love to see where we started and to now. It's a big change, and I'm glad to see the direction the game has gone over the years. I know there's been like controversies here and there, but I would rather be playing the game now than back then, because when I look back then, it wasn't that good. It was just the hype and grinding that was really putting me up there to keep playing. But about myself, I'm from New Jersey. I do courier maintenance as a career, and it's not enough to pay for this game, but somehow I do it. But yeah, so that's kind of my little story about how I started.
That,
yeah. Cool, I have a brother. Yeah, his name is.
And you play with your brother.
I've seen him around, and he and I have had completely opposite accounts, where he gets everything on the first try, and I get nothing. Where I always have to drain pipes, I always have to buy packs, unlike him, where he gets everything on the first try. So we're kind of like mishmash. What's really good about having a sibling is that you guys can relate and literally talk, have feedback with each other, and not to mention we get to help each other on each other's rank ups when we're like not doing well. So it's really fun being able to have someone in person, because I know a lot of people don't have that.
You get burnt out.
But having someone in person, I'm sure like Frenzy fans can totally relate to that. But it's a whole different ballgame when you have a twin brother helping you out and getting into the game. And we both have been playing literally every day since launch. But
yeah. And Studfit, you said you know him for many years? Like before the game, you guys already knew each other?
Well, not before the game.
Oh, okay.
It's. I guess it's only been like a year and a half, but this was before I started probably watching you around at the same time I met Max. In a different Discord. I don't even know if it's still around, the JC Arena. Shout out to JC. Yeah.
Messy.
And I didn't even know how to drift at that time. I literally played this game for like 4 months, and I didn't know how to drift. It was right around when Royal Raceway was released, and I was like, I full combo. I couldn't full combo up until that tour. Like I just couldn't figure it out. And then I saw a couple people like that were showing you like how to go back and forth. I wasn't even going back. Like it's crazy how long I was playing this game without learning that very important skill. So I'm glad to have you on Nights and welcome. Someone else I've also known for a very long time, Anke. Why don't you tell the viewers here a little bit about yourself, where in the globe, how'd you get started in the game, and what brings you joy in the game?
Yes. Well, I'm from the Netherlands. I'm from Europe. I got started on day one. I'm a day one player, and I just saw it in the App Store, and I was like, okay, let's go. And then I subscribed to Gold Pass, I did like the free trial, but I've never unsubscribed ever since. So I've been Gold Pass ever since then, and I just loved the game. I couldn't drift up until 6-7 months ago, so I think I break your record there.
Oh, you probably did that.
Yes. But I actually managed to auto drift really well. Like Carlos has mentioned, I was the best auto drifter in the game, But then at one point you have to learn how to drift. But I don't do manual. I just use the drift button, and it started with just at some straightaways. I was like, I need to keep combo. I need to drift, and now I've just only used the drift button. But I was a Gold Pass only player up until the Ice Tour. That was my breaking point. I didn't have a top shelf for the Vanilla Lake, and I saw the Ice Mario pack, and the only way to get him was to buy him.
Never
and I
forget.
was like, okay, never forget. And he stayed level 1 or level 2 for like a year. It was like so sad. But that's what started it, and then like Party Time Pauline came, and the holidays, and I went back and forth with spending, and then last year Halloween, that was a point where I didn't spend at all, but then like the holidays came and Santa Bowser, and that's when it hit. And then ever since joining ER, starting of the year, it seemed like it's only went up. So I'm at a point where it needs to go down again because my account is fine. So I've been enjoying the game every single day, and I don't have anyone in my real life to sit down with me and play. So it's when I started, when the game launched, my neighbor had the game and some other, but people never continued it. Well, I'm still grinding 2 years later, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, actually, funny story. I would say that I think you were probably more of a casual player and hadn't really broken the top 100 or anything like that. But we saw a lot of potential, and you brought you into ER, and now you've been crushing it. Pretty consistent with top 100, and I think you finished as high as in the teens, right?
I did a top 10 try one time. At one point, I was really high, and I was mentally drained. I grinded 6-7 hours a day to get all those 100% scores, and then the last Monday, you had 2 days left in the tour, and then you have that ACR result, and I knew where I could go, but then the 10 people were already at my limit, so that's when I gave up. I could have added an extra 50k and maybe ended 10th, but I was like, it's not worth it. So I ended 16th that tour, so that's pretty high.
That is pretty high. It's really good.
And I learned a lot during that tour, and now I know how to prepare, and that I really need a stack of 30, 40, 50 tickets for one single tour, and then triple cap all over the place, and then hopefully get my top 10 badge one time. And the best badge would be a DK badge, of course.
A DK badge. You're a big DK fan. That is for sure.
Can you tell?
Which tour was it you got 16 on?
Do you remember which
Mario
tour?
versus Peach.
Okay, so you're a big
Peach.
Versus fan then, is what you're saying.
Yes and no.
Well,
yes and no.
We'll get into more of that as we start to discuss this upcoming Toad versus Toadette tour. But before we do, Callum, thanks for joining. Our history dates back to I think I was collecting all my ticket data, and Callum reached out, and he's kind of a mini data guru. But I think as I was trying to bring in guests. He's much more on the Gold Pass Plus status. So wanted to get kind of a full range of perspective. So Callum, thanks for joining us. Tell us a little bit about where on the globe you are, what you got started in the game, and what brings you joy.
Yeah, not a problem. So, as you might be able to tell by my accent, from the United Kingdom, just south of London specifically. As you said, Studfit, Gold Pass Plus player, been Gold Pass since day one. I just think that there's great value in Gold Pass in general. Then they brought in these premium challenges, and again, the tickets that you get as well as the items feels worth it to me. So Gold Pass plus premium challenges, sometimes a commemorative gift as well, if it feels worth it and looks good. I've been a Mario Kart player since the Wii. Heard that there was an app being released, so was very keen to get it. The controls are, the gameplay is a little bit different, and it's not so much about winning, also about keeping combo and scoring. Took a little bit of time to get used to that, but I think after 2 weeks, and then there was a new tour and everything reset, it was like, oh, okay, this game might have legs. So I quite like that concept, the ever-evolving game. Play it every day. I have done since day one, over 2 years ago.
Awesome, man.
Nice.
Well, yeah, I think the gameplay is very different. I would say, and I think I've mentioned this just briefly on other avenues, but if this was just a racing game, there weren't combos or anything like that, I probably would not be playing this game. That is what I enjoy about it. It's just so much fun, like trying to get this frenzies. I know it's frustrating, but like it's like golf. All you have to do is get that like triple coin frenzy, and you're just like you're hooked again. You're like, this is what it is all about. So completely understand that. So. Mm-hmm. We'll go ahead and jump into our icebreaker because we've got a lot of questions. This question comes from Angelita. We've had new drivers such as Tanooki Mario and Tanooki Rosalina, Vampire Waluigi, and now we have a yellow pit crew Toad. So it raises the question, who would you like to see get a new alt? And I'll let Anke answer this one because I have a suspicion.
I was about to say, do I even need to say it?
Do any of us need to say it?
You might want to formally say it, but yeah.
Isn't it obvious, Nintendo, if you're watching, please give me DK.
DK
Anything with a Christmas hat, you can make him yellow, green, black. I don't care. Please, just give me something.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Are you able to articulate what's your favorite part about DK?
So the way some people like. A lot of people grew up with Mario Kart, with the Nintendo, the NES, SNES, like whatever, but I actually didn't. I had like friends who had an NES or SNES, and I played Mario Kart when I was like on a birthday. But when I was younger, we got a Nintendo 64, and my childhood, 500 hours was DK64. So the sounds, everything, all the characters, that's my nostalgia. So like Mario Kart, cool, but DK, that's it. That's how I feel about that. And I've never even finished DK64. It still haunts me. I looked up the gameplay, like a speed run of it. Someone did it in 10 hours because I never saw the ending. And I was like 7, 8. There weren't tutorials on how to beat this boss or how to find that key. So I didn't know. I just played around on the islands, and I was like swimming and doing all this stuff, and so I've never finished DK64. And the Nintendo, it doesn't work anymore, and I'm not gonna buy it now and then replay it. But that's why I want it to come out on the Switch so bad, so that I can actually play it and finish it. And so that's DK to me.
There you go.
Basically,
I like it. I think from my perspective, I like DK, but there's just so many super fans. I'm always wondering what fuels the super fans. Is it and so that really helps kind of put some articulation on.
You
on
have that with Waluigi. That's your nostalgia.
Yeah.
If I played Mario Party, I always chose DK. So that's my thing.
Thing is, I always. my parents always taught me that's like it's like how you play the game means more than winning or losing. So I was like, I don't want to fight with my my friends about who gets DK because everyone seems to want DK. So I was like, I'll just go ahead and pass and get the guy. Which I guess there's now a new Mario Party for the Switch. So I might actually I might actually break that out. That might be fun to play. Friends, fans, we haven't heard from you yet. If you can, if the icebreaker, what alt would you like to see of a driver?
You know when you guys go to like the multiplayer race and there's a little space toad floating around?
Yeah.
I want like space toad with like a killer rocket cart. I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Or like a Milky Way or
Great.
Blitz glider. I'd be totally down for that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, Space Tour.
Yeah, space tour.
Space Tour is long
Space
overdue.
Tour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Friends, fans, Guy, same answer, or how would it do?
No, I'm a Bowser fan myself, so I'm crossing my
Bowser
fingers
Fury?
and waiting for Bowser Fury to come out. Or
Yeah.
like Wedding Bowser.
Or anyone.
I think that Wedding Bowser probably has a little bit higher chance of coming to the game, probably around like April, May next year than Bowser Fury.
With a
But
black gilded king with like black
Do you still
fire.
have the Bowser
You're
Fury
speaking his language.
on your phone?
oh yeah, have
Yeah.
you guys
Oh
seen?
yeah,
It's
Fury
really
see it.
King.
It looks sick.
Fury
It
King.
looks sick.
I
And,
haven't.
and
That's
it's,
that's
Fury
what I want
King.
to see.
it's
Awesome. Fury
This
King.
was
It's
Apollo
the,
Mamba on Reddit.
Oh, it's your
he-
back. It's actually your background.
So he does reskins of different carts. Like he's a big car guy himself. Like he's really into cars. And I saw that he was doing some reskins, and I reached out to him on Reddit. I was like, dude, do you think you could do like a reskin of the Gilded King, but make it like Fury King? He's like, let me see what I can do. And he emails me this. I'm like, oh my gosh, please. And
great.
then I think like last week or the week before,
It's really cool.
oh shoot. His name, Half Hydra. There we go. He is like one of the big data miners and kind of like white hat hackers. He ended up making a YouTube video where he took the skin from Apollo Film Buff of the Fury King and he put it in gameplay. And so
I haven't seen that
Oh,
yet.
really?
you see, like,
Man.
it's like 30, 45 seconds or whatever of driving around in a
Sick.
Fury King. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till this is like
my
a
goodness.
legit thing. It'd be so
Yeah.
sweet.
And it's Atlanta Falcon colors, isn't it? There,
Yeah.
you're in Atlanta.
Bulldogs and Atlanta Falcon.
Yep.
There
I feel
you
like all
go.
the things are black and red.
You can't go wrong there. Sammy D, what new alt would you like to see?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of personal preference other than, just for the whole community, the DKL, obviously. And then I'd say Wario, too. Waluigi finally got it. But Wario's only got the one now. And so he's obviously next in line, I think, other than the big monkey in the room that is the DK alt situation, But, like, the Wario, classic Wario biker is like all the WarioWare games, Wario has this, like, biker helmet and, like a jacket. It's just such a cool look for him. I hope they do it at some point, rather than like Wario elephant or some random thing that they might do.
Is
The alts are so
Wario
random.
Man, the one with the onion, like
Wario Man's a thing too. I mean, there's a million great alts. There's we talk about Pink Gold Peach and Gold Mario. Silver Luigi is actually a thing too. In addition to Luigi, like there's lots of creative alts they could take from the games that have all come before, But we get a lot of alts that have nothing to do. They're just like random new ideas, like Party Time Toad. That's not from anything. It's just like a, So I don't know. I think it'll continue that vein.
Yeah, that's probably Nintendo's excuse to be able to make Party Time this and Party Time that. I can't make Wario Man, Diddy Kong or something, like that.
Diddy would be great too. And I will say that as I don't want to see all the common characters like the Koopalings get alts, but I mean one every now and then of a Morton alt or like a Koopa Troopa alt. It would just be nice every now and then to have that thrown in just to kind of keep things interesting.
Is baseball
Yes,
Mario?
I've now named everyone.
Is baseball
What's that,
Mario a thing
Principal?
from another game?
Well,
Or
there's
was that,
Mario
like-
baseball game series, but it's
Okay.
that his costume is not taken directly from it. I think actually it's more taken from the Mario Odyssey Mario baseball alt.
Yeah.
Because Odyssey
Oh,
has like
okay.
a million Marios in it.
There are so many outfits.
Yeah, you
for
actually
Mario
buy
and Odyssey.
outfits in that game. So
Is there a soccer Mario?
But-
Because that would be cool.
I don't know if there is an Odyssey, but yeah, Soccer Mario would be great.
I think we've all been waiting for the golf versions once we saw the speed golf that came out this summer.
Yeah.
But, I'm sure we'll have
you can have your
baseball,
golfers.
Luigi, and baseball. We'll get other alts when there's another baseball tour. That's my prediction. Is like they're just going to keep going through it, as you kind of alluded to. You know, maybe wedding Bowser being potentially probable. You know, we could have wedding and then like 6 of them. You know, by the end in the next 2 or 3 years, who knows? But my guess is they're going to keep kind of going through these tours before they. And like you've seen with the cities, we've now circulated through Tokyo 5 or 6 times. Still haven't gotten to Cairo. Still haven't gotten to Thailand, etc. So that's kind of my expectation. Is we'll probably circulate through some of these alts before we get to a new one. My thought was Diddy, as I alluded to, only because you've already said Wario and Donkey Kong, of course, but those would be my top 2.
Nice.
Callum, what new alt would you like to see?
I mean, Donkey Kong is the most overdue one. I think if there was a right answer, it's Donkey Kong for this question. But I think in general, apart from the Toad space alts, we've all said villains. I just don't think there's enough villain alts. If you go on the high-end drivers, you can fit all of the high-end villains in one screen, and then you get tons and tons of these Mario and Peach hero alts. So I think just more villains in general would be welcome.
Nice. Nice. Your thoughts?
So, when I think of like wanting a new alt, I kind of don't want to stick to like a lot of the basic drivers. Like, I know everyone wants Donkey Kong. It's going to keep repeating, but I kind of want to see like an original character have an alt. Like Monty Mole would be like my number 1. King Baba, not bad. I know it's probably hard for them to probably do something like that, but even like another recolor. I know King Baba already has his first alt, having the gold version. But I would like to see like even Kamek Gold or something like that. Like these original drivers that were never in Mario Kart eventually get an alt. I kind of have a speculation. I don't know if it's ever been out there, but I feel like we're gonna get a hockey Hammer Bro when Vancouver returns, because when people explore the rest of that map, there's a hockey stadium, and you can see. I forget. I'll have to relook at it again, but I'm pretty sure there was a Hammer Bro badge. And I feel like we're going to get a hockey bro, like an ice hockey bro.
That'd be cool.
So I feel like that could be one of our next alt drivers that aren't original Mario Kart drivers.
That's smart.
But the one that I really want the most, it's like I was hoping was going to come Halloween, but didn't, was another King Boo recolor or something.
Yeah,
King Boo.
I really want to get another King Boo recolor, even if it's a super. I would love to like have King Boo like
black,
orange or pink.
Yeah,
or
there's a black.
Like anything King
Yeah,
Boo.
there's a black and a pink that have been in different games before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would totally love to see another King Boo, just even like recolor.
Yeah.
He is a super driver, so it would make sense for him
to
be another, like, instead of like having all these Birdos and Chupa Chupas, they're kind of getting.
We know Nintendo loves black and pink items.
So Black King Boo would be pretty bonkers. And Mike, I mean, we're probably going to get a Santa something coming up here in just a month.
DK Santa.
You think a DK Santa?
That would be
How
cool.
crazy would that be?
I have a whole theory, and it's interesting, but it all stems around the Rambi Runner, because I don't know which tour it was. Well, I know which tour, but I don't know when. It was at the start of the year. Like it's over 6 months ago now, and it's been buffed and buffed and buffed and buffed. They will have to bring it back at some point. And what better to bring it back because it has all these winter tracks. It has the Frapes, it has the DK Summits, it has the Vanilla Lakes, it has all the winter tracks. So it has to come back over the winter, and people will want to have it. Everyone who missed out on it, I think you did, Studfit.
I missed out.
They will want to have it. They will want to have it. And then when they bring it back as a spotlight, I mean, what better look than a white DK with like a Santa hat and Christmas lights? It's the perfect fit.
It'd be cool if it was like a Rambi Squid with like a red nose on it.
Oh my! Don't even get me started.
A reindeer horn.
Oh my!
A Rambi Runner Santa.
Oh my! I think I'll just go to sleep and wake up in December, because I cannot wait for that.
Oh, well, actually, that's a good. We have one of these questions here about next tour, which is our next section here is this question mark versus tour. Before we get to your opinions on the tour itself, it does look a little anticlimactic for the end of a celebration, but we do know that they typically like to have great pipes in these celebration finales. I'm thinking back. I'm thinking about this tour. Obviously they're going to probably give us a great pipe, but we've had some pretty good pipes here when we think about the Mark II, this gold pipe, which 12% odds, much higher than I was predicting. What kind of pipe would need to be assembled? Romby Runner, reindeer included. What kind of items would you need in a pipe for it to be better than these recent special pipes? What are your any predictions here for this wonderful special pipe, or maybe two for this finale?
They have a pattern with the rally tours. There are always two special pipes, one for the one team and one for the other team, and it's always drivers, like team this, team that, and a few coin boxers and a DK Junior in there. So my prediction, Black Birdo will be in one of those pipes because they've been buffing her and hyping her up, and then this will be her last hurrah. It's like Nabbit, like pipe, pack, death. So that's what will happen. Black Birdo will be in a special pipe. Mark my words.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't see them changing.
Fire.
I don't see them changing from the two team pipes. I think that every time they do a celebration, it's going to be a little different. Every time they do a rally tour, they do things sometimes a little differently. I don't think that this is really going to be a climactic tour for the anniversary or for the autumn celebration. I think that this gold pipe might be kind of considered the climax.
Yeah.
You think so? Any other predictions on this?
Sorry to say.
The special pipe. Well, I'm thinking about there's the pipes we've been getting here recently. When you talk about specials, you have some of the new items special pipes. Thinking MK2 and some Mark II, I guess is what they're referred to, and other pipes that have new items that whales are really attracted to. And then you have these other pipes where it seems like they're kind of targeting or kind of catering to some of the newer players. Like this gold pipe, I watched Carlos' stream, and he was so scared the whole time. He's like, I really just give me the new items. I want to get out as soon as possible. Like, what would happen? Would I have to buy more rubies? I don't want to buy more rubies. And so I think that there's kind of two different pipes, and some of the whales had to go into it. And I didn't have a pull video because I just went in, I did a YOLO and got the wings, and I'm happy. I'm leaving the card out there. I know others still didn't get those items and put a lot more rubies into. So I guess what would be the perfect pipe that if you had to kind of pick and choose that would attract both the whales and also the free to play, and newer, maybe not free to play, but gold pass.
Yeah, I think it'd be super cool if they did have a new Toad alt, having a Toad pipe like they had a Mario pipe, where they all the pit crew toads, but then also the high end toads like Toadette Explorer and all those ones. I think that would attract both people, because I don't know if you guys are different, but for me a lot of my toads aren't leveled up high. So if they gave it a feature for that and they gave me a cheap way of getting them all maxed out,
I expect them to do that, like the Toad Explorers and the stuff will be the 100 pipes, or 1 week and 1 week 1 and week 2, but you always see they reveal all the drivers, so there will only be one new driver next tour. We already know it's a rank gift.
Yeah.
Because we were all so surprised.
No, it's just a lot.
Of course, because we had the Bowser versus DK tour, and we saw the trailer, and there was no new driver displayed. So we were like, whoa, this must be something big. But we didn't get a driver at all. So we see the teams, we see all the drivers that are in it, and there's only one new one. Yeah. So it has to be the ranked reward.
It has to be right.
I always see these rally tours as more of a catch-up tours, because you have all these different pipes with all these different drivers you maybe missed out on, and the rates are good. And I think rally tours, that's why they're maybe not so excited for the whales, because they already have everything. But they will obviously throw in this one new exclusive kart or glider in a 100 pipe, so that whales have to pull.
Yeah.
But excited. It's a good catch-up tour for Gold Pass players who saved up and are Toad or Toadette fans, and week 1 will be Explorers or the Party Times or
the Builders or something. I don't know how they're going to do all the Toads. There's not as many Toadettes as Toads, so I think since it's the Trick Track thing, it's going to be another tour where my prediction would be the 2 builder Toads, and then I think they will throw in, like, just like Anke said, like some like gold safety glider or a gold dozer or something
Treasure
that's
map.
a card or glider so that people won't just
Black
pass on the
treasure
pipes
map.
completely. And then it looks like maybe the wedding stuff is going to be the week 2, which is so random. But I don't know.
We didn't get a trailer.
Yeah.
And usually, lately, we get like the packs out of the trailer, like we saw
Right.
the Black Birdo with the Dark Trickster, and so I see these team reveals as the trailer.
Yeah.
And one of the videos you saw Wedding
Yeah.
or like Tuxedo in the Grand Bandwagon, and we saw Wedding Peach in the Day Tripper.
Yeah.
So my prediction is those are the 240 packs.
Oh, okay.
Week 1, week 2, or there are always extra packs. So that has to be a pack, or maybe like the 50 pipes, but they will make a return for sure. Yes.
Yeah. It'll be some combination of all these things. I don't know if they'll let you get every single Toad. There's a lot of Toads, and like I said, not a lot of Toadettes. So
do we know for a fact yet that this new yellow pit crew Toad is it super or
Yes.
would it be a high end?
it's a super
Super.
because there's a
You
yellow
see-
super icon
you see
in
the gold- you see the gold
preview. I think
Yeah.
if it was a high end, it would have the pink and purple
pink one.
tinted.
Would
and
be
it-
great.
and
if
they've been
they
doing
gave a
that.
high end rank award would be great,
Yeah.
but they won't.
So he here thinks he'll have giant banana.
Or triple.
I do not.
Tri-
I do
or
not.
triple.
I
You don't
think
think so?
triple banana. There is no super triple banana driver, and giant banana is really OP. And since they fixed the triple banana drivers, they know what they're doing. They know like the triple banana drivers haven't been good, so they fixed it, and now they're like, DK Junior is hyped, so now they bring out this new Toad with
Yeah.
triple bananas, and we all better have 22 tickets ready to take that boy straight to 7.
I got mine. I think that also, like, if it was giant banana, like, it's still so overdue for a giant banana high end, and it would just be so deflating to have them give
Yeah.
a giant banana to a super, because that means that in the next couple tours, there's not going to be that giant banana high end that we're waiting for.
Do you think it's going to be coin box?
I do.
Definitely.
I do.
Really?
I do.
Wow.
I know no one wants that,
Wow.
but I think the idea.
It would be cool.
Well, hear me out. I think it would be more. It's just for like a free to play gold pass thing. It's like, give him 1 or 2 tracks, maybe like the week 2 ranked track. He's on there and he's got coin box, and it allows
Imagine.
my. lower tier players to
Oh my
and
goodness.
people who have 23 tickets saved to get a coin box super going and,
You
and
know
get some
what?
points.
What will be crazy, because he will be only a top 3 reward. So like, low people who don't invest a lot might not even get it. And if it's coin box, then next rank up will be insane.
Yeah.
Scoring wise,
Yeah.
it won't be fun.
Anybody else agree or disagree on that? Frenzy, Callum, nice. Yeah,
No, I can't say it.
Do you think that
I can kind of see it. I think it would just cause
Well,
a
how
lot
do you think
of
that would impact the
think
different
issues with
communities? I
them,
mean,
sure.
I think the whales. I mean, I've been sitting on these tickets because I don't use super drivers much. So I would instantly put tickets on and take it up. But do you think it would get? Maybe this is a good question for Callum. Would that get you hyped up and get you revived in this game and get excited again, or how would it impact the Gold Pass Plus type of player?
If it was coin box, is that?
Yes.
Yeah, it wouldn't really get me hyped up. It would. I actually have about 15, 17 tickets ready to use on a super driver. I just haven't had use at the moment. So even as a Gold Pass Plus player, it is just high ends all the way for me at the moment. So yeah, I would have that available, ready to take close to level 7. It wouldn't really get me hyped though or anything. It would just be another coin box. I feel like they're a little bit oversaturated as it is, so I'm kind of hoping it's not a coin box.
I see them giving them whoever's on his track. I bet Daisy Swimwear or Peach Explorer, someone will be on it too. Where the whales, even if they take him to 7, they actually still might be able to outscore a super coin boxer with some other high powered driver. You know what I'm saying? I think they'll release it as coin box only if it's really not going to have that much impact. If that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, they'll probably just give him a bunch of terrible tracks that already have coin box drivers on them.
Just overlap stuff.
And then we'll have those
100%.
level 7.
But for the people who don't
1100.
have, Mario Tuxedo or whatever Kamek, they can have fun with the coin boxer.
Makes sense.
EDietel asks, what would have to change for it to really matter which team to choose for a versus tour?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, go ahead, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you mind if I go pitch in on the last question? So I just had two things to say. So for the thing about the pipe question, I don't really see it as what should they add in the pipes or with odds to make me want to pull on it. I kind of see it as what can I do with the drivers as individuals to make me want to pull for them as individuals. So every time I see these special pipes returning with old drivers, even if there's a new driver just thrown in, it never makes me want to say, I want to get Peach, I want to get SNES Mario, I want to get Nabbit, because they're not going to buff them. They're not going to give them rank tracks. They're not going to paywall them. So what's the point of me going for that special pipe and saying I want to go for that driver? I know it's probably the answer's filler, but I kind of wish they would just start changing the direction of these special pipes to be, I want to pull for these old drivers. I want to start pulling them to level them up so it can actually be useful. It was kind of annoying seeing King Boo Luigi's Mansion return several times. And each time he comes back, even as a spotlight, he does not get anything. It's just kind of why bother with these pipes anymore if they're just not going to add anything? Maybe one driver out of the bunch. Oh, I need Toadette Explorer in that pipe next week because she's going to be the one driver, and I'll never get her because I'll just keep getting everyone else. But it'll make me want to keep pulling to try to get her because I know she'll be useful. But that's kind of what I want to see that change. Not only see what's in the pipes, but what are these drivers going to do when they return in these pipes that can reflect for how making me want to pull for them in that specific tour, and for future references too. So it's kind of annoying seeing all these new drivers constantly getting buffed, and they don't even return in the special pipes, except for Luigi Leader, who finally showed up in Anniversary, and you couldn't even guarantee.
And I think that's part of the reason why Nintendo probably backtracked a little bit and said, "Well, we're not going to buff Tuxedo Mario. We'll keep giving all the buffs to Fire Rosalina and Black Birdo." And it did make you have to say, "Wow, geez, I'm actually going to have to get these characters." I don't want to, but So if they did that with those, I could see that happening. You had a second point too, Go for it.
Yeah, so it was about Toad, the new pit crew. Would you give advice to people to start saving and buying tickets Super? I was actually thinking about this today. Should I start buying Super driver tickets instead of saving up for high-end tickets? Because an Anniversary, I just missed it. I just made it in time to save up enough driver tickets for Blue Turbo, for Blue Birdo, to level her up to 6 for the New York Minute track. Would you give advice for people to start buying tickets now in this tour so that they don't have to scramble for these tickets?
My advice would always be to have 15 tickets, or try to have 15, and then if it turns out to be good, you can get the final 8 that you need to 7. Yeah. I'm at 13 now, but I know the rally tours there will be 2 in the token shop and 2 in the gold pass, so that's 4. So, but it also depends on your ticket or on your coins. If you only have 20k in coins, then it's just hard. And
it depends on how many high-end tickets you have. I mean, those super tickets add up real fast. 3 or 4 tickets is a high-end ticket, and if I usually measure how many coins I have by how many high-end tickets can I buy with them, and it's either 2 or 3 or 4, and that starts to change with the supers.
Right.
I think you can usually get by without taking that ranked reward driver to 6, but if it is something like Coinbox or Boomerang or something, then you might want to have that option. So I would definitely recommend it as well.
Exactly. Especially if it's going to be Coinbox potentially. Or Banana Skill, you definitely want to think about it. Because that's what I was thinking about.
That's not enough.
Should I just buy Super tickets? Because I only have 2 right now.
I think it's worth getting if you have the luxury of having that many coins. If I know I think EDietel shop's been shut down, and he's been trying to find a way
Mine
to
too.
shift things around. So maybe buy a couple super tickets, and just say, hey, this is the direction I'm going to go. And then I don't know if you have Coin Rush, or it's really going to depend on everyone's situation. But I think as a blanket statement, I think that's a wise strategy. I wouldn't pass up on a high end ticket if you had to pick between the two. That'd be my opinion. Really good point. So I will say one thing I thought of around pipes and Toad. It would be cool if they had in the special pipe just Toad and Pit Crew Toad, like as the supers in that pipe, versus normals and other stuff. Remember how like I think it was the heavy hitters pipe or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They just had
Throwback.
supers. We were all like, this is crazy.
All Koopa Troopers.
Yeah, throwback driver pipe. Yeah, I mean,
I
I think
Koopa Troopers.
I think we've talked about it on the show before, but 30 pipes, glider pipes, pipes with lots of supers, just changing things up,
I think they have to change it up. A 30 pipe with drivers would be pretty insane. The short stack pipes.
They will give us like a wings pipe, because we have so many wings now. With the wicked wings, the dragon wings, the gold wings, and the vampire. So they have to. They just have to.
I don't think it'll come this tour, but I think it is coming.
No.
Yeah. I agree with you there. I'm glad you jumped in there, Knights. But going back to EDietel's question, what would have to change for it to really matter which team you choose for the Versus Tour? I've kind of touched on it a little bit over time, but I'd love to hear from everyone else's opinion here.
Well, of course, they could up the Ruby rewards and stuff, but the fact remains that we've never really trusted the system very well when it comes to the voting. Like, it's it's felt compromised all the way back from the Team Mario hacker incident. Ever since then, it's felt kind of sus, because like even the last tour, like it was 67-33 literally every day. Or I mean, Bowser versus TK, or which one? I forget which tour it was, but there's just not a lot of trust from the fan base or player base that they're tallying it right. I don't know. So if there's a lot more rubies on the line, there's going to be a lot more complaining when people don't win, and I don't want to see that either. So I don't know, man.
I think
maybe
they could also just take away the whole choosing point and just give us like a single pull when we open up the app, and it will either give you a Toad or a Toadette, and that's
random.
You are.
That's kind of fun.
Good.
Because then you have more, like with Mario vs. Peach or whatever tour it was. It seems like if you look at the voting on the servers, like Toad has the upper hand, or Mario has the upper hand, or Bowser. Previously you can always see. So if you just randomize it, just give everyone, open the app, pull for your team, and then you get like, oh, your team Toad, congratulations.
Yeah,
and then that's what you have to do.
And then
That's
people
how
would
they
like
can,
force quit
fix
the
it.
app and try to re-roll it again over and over.
No.
But like
We're not all cheaters.
Yeah. There's also like, do you remember the Mario and Luigi super standard carts, the red and green standards?
I don't have them.
Yeah, they did them as commemorative, right, at the time. But I think it'd be cool if, like, if you pick Team Toad, you get the blue standard cart for free.
Yes.
If you get Team Toadette, you get the pink standard. Just little things like that would be like, it's not really Ruby value, but it's like, oh, that's cool. I wanted that. I get it for doing this team. I don't know.
I don't know if they would ever do this, but we were talking about how cool it would be if they like release 2 new alts, like Yellow Toad and Pink Toad, for example.
Yes.
And then whoever won that item, like you get it gifted at the end, but it gets up to a high end, and the losing team stays at a super. So it's like you want to win, so you
That's an awesome idea.
Oh my!
excited.
Then I would be
That
so
would be so
upset
cool.
if I lost.
Right?
And I would
Exactly.
quit the game. I would be like, no. No.
Well, hopefully they can bring it back in a pack or pipe or something like that. Way down the line. But yeah, there'll be 6 months where you're like, I just want it.
But seriously, they could probably get away with upping the Ruby rewards a little bit, right? What do you think, Stuffit? Like 25 rubies for the winner?
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to hear people say, like, I'm not too worried about ranked. It's just 20 rubies. Like, I don't think people are as motivated by rubies now as they were back 6 months ago. I think everyone's like, hey, that's cool. Rubies are nice, but I think that based off of them being so generous here lately, I mean, they could offer 35 rubies, so it's still like, it's right on the fringe of like a 10 pull or not. And some people would still be like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I just really wanted this or just really wanted that. And I don't know. So to me, I I see like Frenzy Fangal's idea is probably the best idea. I've kind of mentioned like you can like if you pick Team Toad and you won, you got Party Time Toad. If you lost, you got a different like Explorer Toad or something like that, or or whatever the more attractive. I guess the Explorer Toad would be probably the more attractive. So maybe that flip those. But you get my point. It's like you could get this or this. They're both great. So either way you win. But yeah, I mean, I think the more rewards that you give to one winner, nothing to the loser. Where you get people with their pitchforks.
Do we have a Twitter campaign yet? We always have a Twitter campaign.
Well,
with
last
the teams,
tour
right?
last tour they changed it. They didn't do a Twitter campaign. Instead, they did an all cup campaign in the game where we got 15,000 coins, which is what we got for the retweet. Back? I think they will, because so far every Valley Tour has had a huge coin influx, and that leads to the ticket influx too, which I think people need to remember. The Rally Tours, yes, they're boring, they're filler, whatever. The scoring is off, but you get extra tickets, you get extra stuff in the shops, and it's a good time to save and accrue your resources. So
the token shop usually has like one of each high end, and then you have them as well in Gold Pass, and it's like a catch up tour.
Yeah.
Like, have fun.
Yeah.
It's not sexy, but the what pipe?
Well, we had the heavy hitter pipe, and I think I was at that stage where I didn't have many of the supers, or if I did, they were like super, super low, and it gave me the chance to super catch up. But I think it was also, you were way ahead of me in the game, and he benefited just as much. It'd be so cool to have that before.
It was a great coin pipe as well. That was the heavy hitter pipe. It was still level 6, if I recall correctly. So I got a lot of coins out of that pipe.
During the time the highest level was 6,
And because it was all drivers, and if you got a dupe, you got 1,500 coins, and all the Koopa Troopas and Koopa Troopas and Koopa Troopas.
Koopa Troopa. We need another one of those whenever level 8 hits. That'll be for sure.
It's the only time they did only drivers. Never happened ever again.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, well, that raises another good point a question I had, which is next tour a good time to introduce any of these major changes that we know could be looming, such as player level 200, item level 8, or battle mode? Now's the time to call your shot. Sammy, I think you're alluding to maybe a potential level 8 for our drivers, carts, and gliders?
I don't think yet. I mean, definitely not next tour. I think it probably will come around the same time as last time, like maybe in February we might get it. Level 200, I would go ahead and welcome ASAP. That's the only one I think is next up, because like we've all been grinding these tracks where we're getting a little indicator that you got points, but we have no idea, and we've been doing that for over a year. When was level 150 added? We don't have Tabor here, but someone can tell us. But like,
maybe Callum.
I'm the replacement
Tabor Junior. No.
So I think that would be good to add next. Battle mode, I still think we're going to see like a beta rollout first, and it'll be a big deal, and it'll last a couple months, and then battle mode, maybe when they're desperate in the next couple of years to keep the game alive. But
what about the rest of the crew? What do you guys think?
I don't believe in level 200 at all.
Really?
I don't think it will ever come. No, because they focus on new players so much. Like if you introduce level 200 and you start the game next week, there's no way to catch up. Like not at all. It will take you over a year and a half to even get that player level, because you don't have enough tracks.
Interesting. So do you think that little noise is just like something they didn't think about, like a glitch?
I think in the game when it says max, it's max. So because maybe level 8 also. I think like it's been discussed in previous. They will find other ways with tickets or stuff, but level 150 is just max. Triple cap level 7 is just max. Because there's no way for new players to ever catch up. I mean, people, even Gold Pass only players, they have trouble to getting everything to level 7.
But that implies, like right here, it says max for
it says max, yeah.
You
that's
think
done.
but that means no level 8 either.
No, that means no level 8 either.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, the beta game had up to level 10 already.
Yeah, but the beta had a lot of stuff.
That's true. But
When they
I mean, hey, I would love it if we stay at level 7.
Yeah, maybe
That's
it's
it.
just wishful thinking
be
because I
great.
know if level 8 drops, then at least for me the spending is done because there's no way then to catch up or ever have a chance at a top 100.
Oh, so
or
many
whatever.
people say they would quit if level 8 comes. I've heard it on
Well,
my Discord all the
wouldn't quit.
time.
I wouldn't quit,
You wouldn't,
but-
and I wouldn't, but I hear people saying that. You know, people just
Well,
say it.
remember, everyone was really mad when level 7 came. I
course.
was mad the first day, and I
Yeah.
was like, wait, but that's really cool because then we can like get these
Yeah.
high scores and strategy and I don't know.
When level
I would
7,
like level. Did
did they give you like a warning? I can't remember. Did they give us a warning when level 7 came, where
Yeah.
they like gave you a heads up,
one
or was
tour.
it just like you woke up and it was
Like
available?
one tour, I
Yeah,
think
just
one tour
2
prior,
weeks.
like a week, 2 weeks or something. Like, hey, this
Yeah.
is coming. Yeah.
Yeah, it's no
Yeah,
tour.
it
we
was
we were all
sure.
scrambling to figure out what the
Sure.
strategy was going to be.
Where they
I would
said
love it
that
if it stays at level
they-
7, and then they just bring in more new characters to, because you can keep it going that way too. You know, all of these characters. You know, we talk about old value. In a couple of years, we could be where we're not talking about any of these characters anymore. We're talking about all the new characters who've come to the
Yeah.
game since then, and they're all going to level 7. And you can keep it going that way. You don't have to go to level 8. That's an interesting theory. I love it.
Yeah, you know, I am torn because I was talking, and I think Sammy, you were on this conversation too, but Jay brought up a good point in that you know, they keep giving us all these free tickets. They keep giving us, and to me, I was like, even though I just got Classic Luigi to 7 this tour, just with getting the pack twice, and I thought about taking Kangaroo Yoshi, aka Bounce, to level 7. Because I was like, I think I'm sitting on like 18 driver tickets, high-end tickets, and so for me, it's like I just was like, I'm not, there's no one else I would put these tickets on. I was saving them for Waluigi, but I'm not going to do that due to his skill. So I was going to put it in, and then he brought up a good point. He's like, you know, they've been so generous. Everyone's all caught up to level 7. Well, most people are caught up. Caleb, I mean, what would you say level 7 wise? How many do you have? Like, do you have just a handful of high-end drivers, or kind of where's the Gold Pass Plus player at?
So I pulled on the gold pipe this tour and got Dry Bones and the gold glider up to level 7. In terms of maxing out the shop, I'd say I'm in a good position with that. I've got the normal carts, normal gliders, both of the super gliders, super and the prem gliders, and the super drivers maxed out to 7. So yeah, come along nicely with that. So I think they were a lot more generous with their tickets as soon as they announced level 7. So yeah, was able to get a lot of those maxed. Probably got about 10 to 15 high-end driver kart gliders maxed out. So yeah, not doing too badly with those.
Well, Jay said this is a perfect time to come out with level 8 if they're going to do it. And there's some debate of is it you know, within the realm of the possibility, or is 7 going to be it forever? You know, I could see that. I just know I have these tickets, and I rarely sit like I'm never in this situation. I'm not a good ticket saver, but I'm just sitting here with these tickets. I'm like, why are they giving me so many driver tickets? Like I need kart, I need glider, but they just keep giving me these driver ones, and I'm like, I want to blow them, but I'm like, now part of me is wondering, like, is level 8 coming? And if so, like, would it jump up from 5 to take it to the next level to, like, 7? And then we just would, it would be a very depressing moment, and so I'm really hoping it doesn't. That's why I said I'm torn. It's like, part of me is like, that would be a way to switch things up, but it probably would switch things up in a bad way. I think it would kind of drive what already is a fan base that's kind of on edge.
Yeah,
a little bit too close to the edge.
Preach. Plus, like commons. Like, imagine maxing your shop again, and you got to get Baby Luigi. Not 20 tickets, you got to get 35 more
Exactly.
tickets, or like that's just gonna feel so
For a
demoralizing.
super, it would be like 15 tickets to 8, and
Yeah.
for a high end, 10 tickets to 8? And
Yeah.
then, I mean, I get it. They need to progress in the game, but they give us so many new items, like new carts, new gliders, every tour. So I think it's fine if they just stick it at 7. And
Yeah.
they focus a lot on new players, and I know we are all playing day 1 players, but there are still people starting the game now and figuring everything out, and then imagine opening the game and seeing not having any of these 200 cards. Like, where am I going to start? And then seeing your opponents have level 8, and it's just, that's just always in the back of my mind. And yes, it's wishful thinking as well, but maybe in like 2 years or 3 years when like Gold Pass is like really caught up, I don't know, or free to play, I don't know, but I think max is max. Like when level 100 came, it didn't say max, it said 0.01 or 0.1. And max is max for a reason. Like, why would you say it's max and then all of a sudden, no, it's not max anymore?
Did it say max before?
No.
Before triple capping was a thing. Did double capping say max? I was wondering.
I don't think it did.
You mean not capping at all? Like just
Before point
Like
max.
didn't triple capping come after as its
no,
own
like,
thing?
no, it was
All
just,
capping was at the same
okay,
time.
right. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It's the only thing
I
I
that's
don't know if it said 800
I
max.
don't know.
Do you guys remember?
I don't think it said max.
No, I don't think it does.
I need to look up some old videos. I don't know. But
feel like
yeah,
max-
if that's the case, then my theory dies. So I don't know.
Well, they're also inconsistent all the time, so you never know.
Knights, I don't want you to have like 5 points in case we skipped you over.
Yes.
Anything you want to add to this?
I think the game kind of does things in a certain time period, so they kind of wait for things. Like they obviously don't throw everything on you at once. Like capping came at a certain tour, level 150, level 7 came at a certain time. So I think if anything was to happen next, it would be level 200, because that was definitely one of the first things they've changed. It hasn't even been a full year of level 7 yet. So I feel like level 7 came after like a whole year and a half of the game being out. And even then, a lot of people still didn't have level 6. So having level 7 and already expecting level 8 by now, and it hasn't even been a full year, it's kind of like pushing it. I would say won't see that until like another year and a half again, because people are still catching up. I know a lot of people, and even when level 8 comes, we're still going to have groups of people. They're going to be the free-to-play, the Gold Pass, the Dolphins, the Whales, and it's always going to be the same rate. Obviously, the Whales are going to go straight to level 8. Some of the Dolphins can catch up, keep up, and then the Gold Pass and the free-play will always struggle, no matter what. So no matter what kind of changes there's going to be, even new players and whatnot, there's always going to be the struggling batch. There's always going to be the people who are always ahead. And then there's always going to be the tier 70 increasing. So even though the matchmaking of rank is completely messed up still, there are going to be separations where people are going to get ahead, and then you won't be matched with them at the moment, but they will start catching up again. Just like I have almost everything level 7 again. And I finally maxed out all my commons with like last tour. But it's still, no matter what kind of changes like these, there will be those struggling groups. So we can expect it, but I wouldn't say anytime soon. At most we'll see 200. But you gotta also keep in mind, how high do you think these scores are gonna get? Because 60k is already a lot. And then, like, when we have, like, Mangalore hacking the game and making, like, level 99 and stuff, or, like, even, like, increasing it just a little bit, those scores multiply. Each time you increase anything, it goes higher. We never thought we would be getting 60k consistently at this rate of the game back then. So, you gotta keep in mind, what real X scores do you think that Mario Kart Tour wants us to stay in, without exceeding like an extraordinary amount where no one can catch up to? Because even me seeing on ACR 1.8 million now, I never thought that was possible. But now it's like it's becoming normal. So eventually, when these scores, everyone's reaching these scores, like when like Gold Pass and everyone's reaching these high scores, they will increase it.
Yeah.
Well,
I think you just hit on, I think, Jay's biggest point, which is that spending this tour, it seems like, and maybe you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but, spending is down in tours like this where we have like a PGP pack, it's definitely a great pack for somebody brand new to the game. You're one of the best coin box drivers. When you think about coverage, that's phenomenal. But for us whales, I mean, even Carlos didn't buy it. He's like, I don't get every pack. He gets a lot of packs, but he didn't get those packs. This is the first tour in a while where I got less than half of the packs, just because I didn't need them. Cat Peach, I even got that pack just once because I was like, I had Cat Peach and like a Banana Glider. So to me, it's like I think spending this tour is down. And that's the sense I'm getting, and maybe you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that could be a motivating factor for Nintendo to say, like, we got to do something. I've liked this summer they've given us some packs and some pipes with items we didn't have. Like, I was happy to see Luigi Lederhosen in pipes. I was happy to have even Cat Toad in packs because I didn't have them. So I'm wondering, you bring up a good point, Knights, about spending. Could spending, motivate things and make things a little quicker than they naturally would have? I don't know. I think Nintendo has to be thinking about that at some point in time. Yet, I think they don't want to alienate those new players by just making it too far out of reach, or makes people so depressed from moving it to level 8. But there's got to be a way for them to be able to get spending back to how it was, or get it up versus kind of letting people just say, I'm going to skip out on these packs. I don't need that much rubies. Friends and fans, guys, we haven't heard from you. What are your thoughts on spending in the game? Callum, I'll let you answer Callum's question because it's kind of along the same line. You want to go ahead and ask it, Callum?
Oh, where are we? You caught me off guard.
Is there anything that you would that would lead you to stop investing so much money in the game? Maybe you want to phrase it a little differently?
Yeah, I mean, just given the money that you guys, all of you, as whales/dolphins, invest in the game, is there anything that would make you invest less money? Anke kind of said there about if it goes to level 8, she would stop investing quite as much.
There's no keeping
anything
up.
else that would stop you from the current spend that you're doing as whales?
For me personally, is when I reach. That's the question I asked. Like, is anyone having like an ultimate goal in the game? Like, you feel like that's fulfilling, so you can like retire in a way. For me, that's just getting a top 10 badge, and once I get it, I'll be gold pass only, because that's like my main goal right now. And that's why I'm so scared of level 8. Like, because I know if level 8 comes, I will never get top 10.
Set you back 6 months. Yeah.
And I have to spend a lot more to like get to that point. So like my time is now. I will save up for the next 5 tours, and around Christmas time, January, I'll just bust out 6 hours a day for 2 weeks, and I'll be breaking my hands, and then like the spending will be over, and I'll have my badge, and I will be happy, and I'll be fulfilled, and I will still like do gold pass and premium challenges, but just realizing that, because I wasn't always spending a lot of money on the game. It started when I joined ER, so ER is the bad influence here. You see all these people like do all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, let's join. But yeah, at some point you think to yourself like, okay, I bought $200 dollars or euros worth of packs, and then you're like, oh, I could have done so many other things with that money. And then you say to yourself like, oh, but it's my hobby. It's like I have a lot of fun. I play the game a lot. It's all good. But then the next tour comes, and there's again packs, and you're pulling the pipe, and then all these items stay at level 1. And the more you think about it, like, especially like what Knights also said, like, hey, I spent this much money in the game, and then at some point, when is enough enough?
I think that, like, I hate to sound like a broken record, but just like, it's like you said, stuff. I think everyone's a little bit hanging on the precipice right now. The past several months, Kamek was huge. Obviously, I don't need to go on more about that. But that's what I'm saying is that if we keep having this feeling of another tour with no new track, another tour with no original character, if they were to actually develop more content for the game in terms of tracks and characters, I think people would not think as much about the spending issue. I mean, I don't want to keep grinding and spending like Kamek was a climax for me. I do, and even Tanooki after that was like the encore. I described it on one of my videos.
That was your ultimate goal for the game.
Yeah, and like
now.
Well, I do have the ultimate goal of a top 100 badge, and I thought about it during Tanooki and tried for a few days, and then bailed when I saw the numbers. But that would be a goal for me for sure. But I don't know when I would do it, and I don't really want to do the Frenzy Fan Guy thing of saving 30 tickets and not using any in the meantime. That would be almost torture for me too. So I don't know, but I think if they continue to actually bring new tracks and a new city, like we haven't had one in a long time now, just the basic stuff that we all love about the game, that's what's going to keep people playing and spending.
Yeah. No more rally tours.
What do you think, Fan Guy?
I think what they're kind of doing right now, at least for me, with packs, I feel like whenever they have a pack, so for example, this tour with Black Birdo, kind of feel like that's the writing on the wall of that item being sunsetted, right?
Yeah.
So
100%.
I agree.
Like, for example, last week on the London Loop 3, I had Black Birdo at level 1, but then I was also super stoked about Hollow Luigi. I got him at level 1, and didn't need to level up him or the cart or the glider in order to be able to get first in ranked. And so now it's like, okay, well, I didn't really need to spend money on Black Birdo. The cart that she has, the Dark Trickster or whatever, I've always kind of liked that cart. But right now I'm coming down to it, it's like, well, it really actually doesn't do anything for me. Like, even if I were to level it up to level 6, like, I don't think I would actually use it on any courses. And so, like, is it really worth that much aesthetically? So, like, last tour, I think I ended up buying the Black Dozer and, what was it, Toadette Builder? Builder Toadette?
Builder Toadette, sure.
Something like that. Not because I wanted to build her Toadette, but because I really thought that the Black Dozer was cool. But then this tour, I was looking at my, like, how much I had on my account to be able to spend, and I was like, I could have swore I had an extra $40. And then I realized, oh, yeah, I guess I spent money on that pack. Like, and I didn't even remember, didn't even realize it. Wow. So
Yeah.
I think right now,
Dangerous.
the only thing that I'm like going to be moving forward with is like these packs that have like the paywalled gliders. Like right now, there's this one with Cat Peach who I do not care about at all, but it's got that magic glider.
The glider.
And so, for example, this tour I didn't have this week's ranked. I don't have a top shelf glider.
Nice.
I don't have a shovel? Oh my.
Not a top shelf shovel.
I wish they had one of those.
And so, like, it was really, I guess, kind of just in the ebb and flow, I guess, like, of the waves that we've talked about. Like, I haven't been buying packs that have the gliders lately. So, like, the Silver Surf Master, I think, was one that I didn't get. Okay. I think there's like 2 or 3 other ones. Oh, like the Yukata Ribbon one that's been in the pack that I didn't get. So now this London Loop 3 RT has like 75% of these gliders that I've passed on. And now, and the reason I passed on most of them is because I just haven't really been like attracted to them. Like they just don't really do it for me, and I haven't really needed them at the time.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be kind of this.
Terrible, so that makes sense.
Right? That and cheap masks. So anyway.
But culturally, it's a really cool.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
I
And
love
I
the
think
Super gliders.
the Yukata Ribbon is also culturally significant.
Yes, I agree.
But yeah, Studfit hates bows.
He's like, no.
So anyway.
Sorry, go ahead,
I think just to kind of wrap up, I think, at least for me, Nintendo, I feel like they kind of either relay messaging as to whether things have been around in the game and have been helpful, and now they're selling it to try and get like the last, squeeze the last little pennies out of everyone, or there's something brand new that doesn't really look like, half of it doesn't look very appetizing, like Cat Peach, that is going to be valuable in the future. So anyway, I don't know. It's impossible to tell, but it's just kind of the way
it's
that
always,
my head's been going.
It's been a strategy of mine to invest in the paywall gliders, and it's like the Black Sail, the Silver Manta I have high level, the Starry Great Sail I have high level, the Glinting glider like the $2 one, and they cover like every single track. Like my account, I use them everywhere. So, and I'm not a collector, but if I would collect anything, it's a glider. If there's a new glider, I will get it because, well, they're rare. They're not a lot. Well, rare. There are not a lot of tickets for
Tickets
them.
are harder
So
to
when
get.
when you level one up, you want it to like give you some value. And now this tour, it's interesting with having 3 new gliders. But I predict that this Magic Parasol will be the OP one, not even the Gold Wings or the Vampire Wings, just solely because it had that $40 price tag on it. So if I will level one up, even though I love the wings, I will level up the Magic Parasol.
The wings will be good too, though. You think?
Yes,
Gold or the normal?
but
The golden. And then
They're
then you
golden,
got the
yeah, but-
vampire stuff. All the if we
Yep.
go by lesser pulled pipes, but I don't know. Do you guys think the Waluigi pipe was a lesser pulled pipe? I think a lot
No.
of people actually went.
a lot
into
of people pull. A lot of people.
I think
It wasn't
think
like
for
the
a lot of
Black
people-
Birdo pipe.
I think a lot of people that like Anke and I talked to on ER did go for it, but I don't think it was like as popular from like the free to play gold pass. Like they're just
Right.
like, hey, I'm just not going to go into it. And I know Jeeves notoriously did a 30,000 foot car pretend pool, and to get the Batmobile. The Batmobile, I know, I got a lot of people hyped on it. I think Krugga pulled on it only for that cart. So I think the cart drew a lot of people to it. I'm probably partly responsible for that, but I don't think that many people pulled on that pipe. Feel free to put in the comments here if you pulled onto it. But I think it's one of the lesser pulled pipes, especially if you only have so many rubies. This gold pipe is so attractive to those gold pass players versus going into a 100 pipe for a bomb cannon.
Sure.
Well, that's the thing. I left the Waluigi in the last 30. I got the card and the glider, and Waluigi was left, and I just said, no, it's not worth it.
Can't blame you on that.
Bye-bye.
Nice. You brought up
about
at the
you,
very
Callum?
beginning how much you were regretting or reevaluating your life and spending. What are your thoughts on Callum's question?
So, just like Frenzy guy said before, I was looking at the packs this tour. I'm like, because Waluigi was like last thing in the pipe. I'm like, I don't know which pack to buy because most of the things are regular high ends. I can really just pull them out like whenever. I'm like totally against spending tickets on regular high ends most of the time. It depends on the high end and their value. But I'm like looking at the Black Pro pack. I'm like, oh. That'll just leave me at 1 out of 5 to her going to 7. The Dark Trickster, I love that card so much. I wish it was better, but it's not going to be useful. Then I look at next week. I don't want Cat Beach, but I want that glider. But will it even be useful? And it's like, but it's like I don't know what to buy anymore. I don't know what to pull for anymore because like no matter what, it depends. They're so random with everything. But the thing that would fear me from buying things in the future, and this happened a while back, when is the fear that the game will shut down eventually. Just like Dr. Mario, even though Mario Kart Tour is exponentially better and way more in demand than like Dr. Mario, there will become a point where they will stop making things for this game, and then eventually it will just shut down one day. You never know. Like some of these games last forever, but knowing Nintendo, anything can happen. So that's one of my fears of continuing spending money. I kind of like stopped. The only thing I've been buying now is Gold Pass Premium Challenges, and then occasionally I'll buy a pack if I need it. But this tour I didn't buy a pack because I ended up getting a Waluigi, so it really just depends on each tour individually for me. But in the back of my head, I always think like, will this eventually just all go to waste? And also, why am I buying these things when I'm not going to use them? Like, I really wanted to buy a Black Trickster this tour, if I was to choose a pack, because even though I don't have the glider and I have the Dark Twister already, I would have loved to buy it another time just to level it up. But it just, the things that they've been doing lately with value is really getting on my nerves. Like, that's like my big pet peeve about this game. It's like, not ranked, not all this stuff. It's just value. Like, why do things just sit on the shelf when they could easily, when they come back, when they come in special types?
I think Sammy.
Packs, why not just put them somewhere? Why do they just have to just?
I was just gonna say, Sammy
kind
kind of touched on it. I don't think.
Like, didn't get anything.
I wanted to re-highlight it.
So,
just
I
that
got it last
if they
before,
gave
but it
us
wasn't in
more
the pack.
tracks, I think that could solve some of those
What were you
problems. Like giving us just like the variation of like one track each tour. Like that's nice, but that's only like 3 tracks. So if they gave us like I don't know, two sets, so like 6 new tracks, then they could afford to buff these items that have been sitting on the shelf. And I think we might be a little bit more attracted to it. Or, of course, this is going to come both sides of my mouth. But more city tracks throughout the tours. If you had like just shuffled them, same as all tracks, whether the city or non-city, equal randomness like that. That would make, I think, people start to rethink city tracks and start to think like this coverage, actually, this value of this of this item versus this item could change. But I think if they gave us 6 new tracks every tour, I don't think anyone would be complaining, would they?
No, true.
I don't know. Like to me, that would solve your problem. That would solve the value problem. But I don't know. We take this game maybe a little too seriously.
Frenzy Fanboy was going to get something in, I think, a minute ago.
Oh, go ahead. Frenzy Fan Guy, you said something about shovel.
Oh yeah, no. So I finished that thought. Just the whole, like, if there were 6 new tracks, I think it'd be more frustrating if those 6 tracks you didn't have top shelf stuff on, and Mario forced you to buy stuff. Like, there's this fine line between like
I see
buying something because.
But if you had a Dark Trickster or Ghost Ride or something,
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. If the Dark Trickster was like a double or triple feature and ranked, then it's like, oh, okay, like there's actually some value to it for me at least. But yeah, so if they were to add like 6 new tracks, and I don't know, it's just it gets complicated because everybody's loadouts are different. Everybody plays the game differently. Sometimes people are going for like top 1,000 for the very first time. Sometimes, you're kind of sitting in top 1,000 or top 100 comfortably, and it's like, well, do I really need to? Like, if I'm going to be getting place 300 or 500, like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
so.
And just to give voice to like the KG style of play, like if you built your inventory around the Dark Trickster, that's going to be one of your best cards, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, look at your brother. I saw Moose got his like Rosa's decked out, like double capped Rosalina Halloween, because like the Rosa fans, if they have a triple capped Rosalina Halloween, which to most of us is like a trash character, they're getting like record ranked scores this week, So if you choose what you want to invest in, you can build your own world around it, It's a little more limited than following like the top 10, but.
Can I add a question?
Let's hear Nights Out, and then Prince Fan Gao, you asked your question. I think that's a good idea.
That's exactly I always say. Just what I always say is, okay. What I always say to people is when they're investing in something, even if I don't agree with it or other people don't agree with it, if it's something you like, and like let's say like you're choosing between carts. If you want to use that cart, then make it your best cart.
And invest in the things you buy and go for it.
If that's your favorite driver, other than these guys, then make that your best driver. You don't need to debate over it.
Yeah, so I may have misunderstood what Knight's was saying, so if I did, I apologize. But you mentioned having a fear of like putting all this money into the game and then the game like kind of disintegrating and going away. So my question for you guys is, what do you think it would take for Nintendo to stop putting effort into the game? Because the game's only growing in revenue. I think back in April, I read an article that over like lifetime value, it's done over like $200 million in revenue. Wow. That was in April. It's only growing from there. And I think it was like a 23% increase from the year prior in growth. So I don't necessarily have that fear of Mario Kart stopping, but I didn't know like what you guys thought. Like, at what point in time does Nintendo just say, "Oh, we're going to kind of pump the brakes on this. It's reached its max."
I feel like it would be either a new game shows up, or maybe even something else just appears
Is it?
where they just don't
Yeah,
want to
10
put into
years.
it.
What is it? Really? My mom
That's
still plays
also
it.
why I said it may not
Level
even
4,000
Farmville.
or something.
mobile games
yeah.
like Candy Crush and all this other stuff that just still is around and pumping out cash for them. Like, I don't know, like people are still spending money on that crap. So I feel like that's why I was saying I was comparing the two games. Like Dr. Mario was so low in the charts that they decided to just toss it. But Mario Kart Tour, they were released around like nearly the same time, and it's still growing and like makes a lot of money. So that's why I don't have the fear so much anymore. But when that news broke about Dr. Mario, I was like, oh my god, it's Mario Kart Tour next, since they were released around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I feel like if anything were to kill the game, it'll either just be
For their
the game has been out
resources,
for
yeah.
so long. There's
Yeah.
I
nothing
think the
new to
options are
add.
endless
There
for the
still
game. I
needs
think
to
they
be
have
added
like
a lot.
a 5-year
But,
plan already planned out, the tours, what they're gonna
I
do.
feel like
They already
it would
know
just be
next
something else
Halloween they're gonna
competing
give us
with it.
Luigi or
So
whatever.
if they're already
And you also
messing
have
with
like that Mario Run. That's also like one of those app games from Nintendo. I don't know
Yeah.
how old that app is, but that's still around. I never
For
played
sure.
it because you also had to pay to do whatever, and I was like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not
Look at
paying
me.
for a mobile Mario game.
Yeah, look at me now. Yes, no. So, no, I'm not scared of the game going away. I'm just scared of me getting burnt out by spending as much money. So I will probably end up going back to like what you've been also doing, like just Gold Pass Premium and a pack here and there. But for me, my account is at its peak right now. My account is now thriving. I have my good levels. I have the good base set up for all the tracks. I'm closing up all the gaps. So every time a new track comes along, like a city tour, I will like not invest. But then if a new track comes, like last year we had Maple Treeway RT and we had the Choco RT. So I was happy the Black Sail was there and the Wild Pink and the Silver King and okay, that's my cat. Go away. But I dumped 9 tickets on Daisy Cheer and 9 on DK Jr. just to get that 6 double cap driver on both of those tracks. But I know the second I stop spending, my account won't be top 10 worthy anymore. And I'm okay with that. And I look forward to the time that I don't have, because I don't know if it's an addiction. Maybe it is an addiction in a way.
Probably it's an addiction, yeah.
Yes, and it's and it's just debating like what. But yes, the game makes me happy, and I play it every day, and I love the community, and I love talking about it, and I like looking at my stuff and what can I level up and what it's good, but at some point, but I'm not scared of the game ending. I'm not, because they couldn't. I mean, sure, end the game, but give me my money back. Give me a check. I'm okay with that.
Well, they're not
Just say
That's not.
Yeah.
no, but I would be okay with that though. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't. Yeah, I think that they're going to have to do some type of return on investment on how many hours they're putting into building new tracks and how long that takes. But I don't know how often these other games are like these weekly games where there's like a big update and how much time goes into building that out. It could eventually get to a point where that break even doesn't make sense for them, but I don't think that's for another few years, at least 2 or 3. But my guess is probably closer to 5, 6, 7. But for anyone out there who thinks that this game is going to go away and they're going to come out with a new Mario Kart, like a Mario Kart 9 or whatever it is, that's not happening. This is a Mario Kart game, and this is probably more profitable than all the other Mario Kart games combined. So, like, why would they ever stop this to do a different type of Mario Kart game? That's not happening, at least in my opinion. But I think this raises a good point. Is like, what is your end game? What is it's a little morbid to think about like what that is, and we've kind of danced around it, and Anke brings up a really great question about like what's your ultimate goal in the game. I had to kind of question my spending to a certain extent in that, like, I was like, I get like the glider 3 times, so I have it level 3, but then like now I'm just like, is having a 3 worth getting this pack 3 times? And so for me with the Cat Peach, I'll just get it once, and I'll be happy there, and skipped out on one of the classic Luigis and skipped out on all the PGPs. And so for me, it's just like, to me, I think Nintendo is going to be, if they have to err on the side of welcoming in new players or getting less money from the whales, I mean, honestly, they're probably going to err on the former of trying to attract new. They're probably going to rather attract new players than really worry about how much we're spending, and then just every once in a while give us a whale pack of items we don't have that we would get and see where it goes from there. But yeah, I think they do have to, and I think they've been doing it. I think they have been reinventing themselves to try to attract these new players, and I'm all for it. I just know that the spending is down. That's the only reason that I think Jay brought up a good point about level 8 coming up. I don't think it'll actually come for that reason, but there is something weird kind of stirring with people spending being down, and I don't even know what like my end game is. I just know that like I'm questioning what is this value of this to me now, and I kind of went through it right before level 7 came out. I cut back pretty direly. I think that's a word. But I cut down my spending pretty substantially leading up to level 7. And then I kind of got back into the swing of things. And I think, Sammy brought up a good point. Is everyone says that they're going to stop doing this or change their habits here. But, it is tough. It is it's a gacha game. And it's a little addictive. I just know my playing of the game has become less important in my life. I finished 101 in All Cup ranking after, I think, like 24 top 100s or something like that. And
that's your thing, right? Just
that was my thing,
close.
yeah. Now I'm just like, oh man, like I'm kind of relieved, but then also I'm kind of like, do I get back into it? I almost kind of feel like just not even doing All Cup ranking at all.
Same.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, but it's. I think we all have to find a healthy balance, whether it's spending time. But Anke, you make a good point. It's like going for a top 10, you need like the perfect loadout plus the perfect amount of time. And the people that go for top 10 all the time, they have those two bubble situations.
I envy those people like the Amy's and the Seffields to do it every single tour, because I tried it one tour and like I was crying the last week and like I cannot do this anymore. I was so tired, my hands hurt, and I was like, how do people do this every tour? And it's not like they're getting okay scores. No, they're getting their 100%. They're going for the triple coin box frenzy. So to get top 100 with like a whale account, it's not that hard. So you started like 2 days before the tour ended, or 1 day, and then getting 101. That's something that other people like Gold Pass players maybe like dream of. Yeah. So, but to do top 10, it's like it's the ultimate. Well, not the ultimate thing, but to me it is, because it's the highest achievable at the moment. And
it raises up the good point. Like what could be a more, that would be one thing that could keep and prolong this game, is offer something even more exclusive, or like a new goal for us. Like we don't have any other goal other than this silly badge. And even people are questioning the ranked rubies. So like I have ranked rubies. So like then why are we playing? Like if it's just rubies here or just a badge here, Nintendo, give us something to strive for. Give us something exciting to go for. I don't know what that is. I don't know if you guys have opinions. Is there anything higher?
Multiplayer.
Well, I think an interesting thing that's going to happen is once the game starts getting a lot more players, that top 100 and that top 10 are going to be so much harder to get. So kind of flipping Callum's question lopsided, or like on his head, is one thing that would get me to spend a lot more money in the game, because I'm a pretty casual player. Like I play for fun. If there's a pack that really speaks to me or helps me like get top in rank and it's worth it, I'll invest, but I'm not a huge spender in the game. But if they were to expand ACR to like top 2,000, because I've never gotten top 1,000 ACR yet, I've never gone for it, but if they were to like lengthen that so I can get a top 2,000 badge or place an ACR without having to like not work and just grind the whole time, like that would get me to invest in it. That would get me to put more time into it. I feel like right now, because there's so many more players, I would really have to grind to get it, and I'd have to invest more time than I'm wanting to. So,
yeah,
I think that.
Well, here's a thought. Here's a thought. Kind of, we talked a little bit about stats, like this new stats feature that you can see your stats. What if they did like an all cup? We've touched on this maybe once, but like an all cup ranking for ranked, like where you could see like I scored the highest this week in ranked. I'm number 50 in ranked this. this tour or something, then those people could save those tickets and say, hey, I'm going to break, top 100 ranked, this week.
Yeah.
And like it's
be
lower
easier,
barrier
too.
to entry,
Yeah.
but still takes a
Yeah.
lot of like effort to go into. Like
That's a
something
good
like
one.
that could be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know
you
if we
only need to
perfectly
say
solved
so.
the problem, but it is what it is.
For
So here's a question I had. I think it kind of ties in well. With the addition of so many new drivers, if you had 10 minutes to sit down with someone who just started the game a month ago and give them advice, what would you tell them?
Delete the app.
I actually just got someone to start playing, and it's really hard because,
Now what?
like Anke was saying earlier, you don't know where to start because you see all these things where you don't have, and when for a new person, like he joined the game, he's looking at everything, he's like I don't understand what's going on because everything was on bottom shelf, anything that he had, because it was mostly commons and supers, because that's all I can really get. So I talked to him, like, basically you gotta, like, score a little here, and then you gotta, like, do a combo, like, explain him how, like, it's not your traditional Mario Kart. You gotta actually, like, go for, like, a score, and I kind of explained it to him, kind of didn't understand it, and then I showed him how to pull the pipe, and I was like, so you want to mostly get high-end.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up pulling a 10 pull, it got Sports Coupe. I was like, okay, this is an item that kind of helps a few places, so you see how it has value and stuff. And I showed him a few courses that it was on the top, so like, see how it's on like I was explaining like the shelving and stuff. But it's just like
Too daunting.
even for me, it was so hard because they don't understand. You don't even know if they're going to even try. It's like, is it even worth the effort? Because they're mostly just going to not play. And I think he stopped playing because you get so lost with all.
Yeah, I
this
mean,
stuff.
even trying
It's
to
like
like,
impossible
even
to
if you
catch
just
up
said, okay, go
unless
for all
you
the
learn
coin
to open up
boxers.
the
I mean,
wallet.
that would take a year to like make
Yes.
sure you can get all that. I mean, Bowser Santa's never come back.
How to start
I mean,
from there. Like,
it would
I
just
even
take so
tried it
long, and then
recently,
to get enough
it's, like,
tickets
really
to get them
hard.
to level 4, then level 6.
I would probably just say be patient and just have
Yeah,
fun
play
and
for
focus
fun.
on your player level, learn the
Also-
tracks, learn how to combo, and
Also, like,
start grinding. But I think like day one players like us, we have it easier because when we started, there wasn't a lot to get. We had a Dry Bowser and a Peachette and a Pauline, so it was easier. And
Start buying
what I would also
everything
say
from
is
the
don't make the
Studfit
mistakes
account.
I did. I put all my tickets, every ticket I got, I put on Dry Bowser. Only because I wanted to complete the level 6 challenge.
yeah.
And you don't want to know how many times I've gotten Dry Bowser ever since I put all my
I did the
tickets
same
on.
thing. Yep.
I waited a while on that one.
Yeah.
My niece plays, and she's been playing for like 6. Well, she doesn't play. I mean, her grandma and mom let her use it on the weekends, and I grind it for her. But I mean, she doesn't have a really in-depth inventory either, and so I've been trying to like observe. Okay, how will this play out? And she takes again the favorites route. She loves Shy Guy, and so Gold Shy Guy to her was the ultimate character. So when it came in a special pipe, I won't play her game for a day or two, and then I'll log in and see her game. And I've seen that she spent like all the 4 high-end tickets I just grinded for her. She threw them all on Gold Shy Guy. Like, okay, there's nothing I can do about that. But then there'll be weeks all the time when Gold Shy Guy's top shelf. And so I'd say if you're starting out, almost like just invest in the stuff you like almost.
Yeah, just have fun with the game and invest in what you like.
Yeah.
I think that's because if you take the game too serious and you open it and you see you're missing 500 items, then you're going to close it up and never come back.
But I mean, if they did add battle mode and time trial mode, then you could have like 3 whole ways to play the game. Ranked cup, time trial, battle, all cup, and there'd be lots of play. Yeah, there'd be lots of ways to do it. I think that would be real smart.
Yeah.
Good points. Anything else, guys, on that topic?
What do you think, Kayla?
What else would you say?
I would add to like, if you're just starting off and you're just playing for fun, great. But if you're like starting off and you really want to be competitive, set a budget. So one thing that we do in our house with it, and in case what Frenzy Fanboy said earlier, is we actually don't have our credit cards attached to Mario Kart Tour app. We only do gift cards. So we have to actually consciously like get ourselves out of the mode of like, I really, really want this, to thinking about it logically, like from like an overall like financial decision. And then we have to be like, okay, I still do want this. Let me go buy a gift card. Like, you have to put like a little bit of a level of separation between the impulse buy. Otherwise, you could easily spend an actual like physical car payment on the game just because you're like, I want it so bad.
I don't even have a credit card. Thank God I don't have a credit card. But we have like now, I found this out like not even like 6 months ago, and I'm still upset about it. I found out like we have like websites selling those cards, and in my country we once every 3 weeks we'll have not a discount, but you'll get like 15% extra. So if you buy a 100 card, you'll get 115. So that's almost a free pack.
Wow.
You know how much money I could have saved if I knew that 2 years ago?
So
I'm still upset about it. But now it's hard. Like for example, like Dutch people this weekend, we have one of those discounts again. I don't need any packs, but I'm still tempted to already buy one of the gift cards now. So I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but I'm saving money in the long run, but you're not.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to buy another gift card. I have a challenge for myself. Next tour, I'm not going to buy any packs.
Wow.
So,
You know what? I'll join you. I'll join you on that challenge.
Because
I'll
the
make
thing
pledge.
is, yeah, because like this tour, I got 3 new carts, 3 new gliders. So I feel like whatever items I got this tour, they will carry me for the next tours. And the tour I will go all in will be around like Christmas. So I can buy whatever I need. I can buy then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just I don't want a bunch of level 1 items, and I also don't want to sit on 500 rubies because I know myself. I'll wake up in the morning. I'll be like, oh, let's do 1 temple.
You'll be in the bathroom.
You know, so-
You'll feel a little frisky. I get you.
That's your thing. That's not my thing.
Oh, sorry. I was just feeling my own.
I'll be with my cat on my
Temptations.
lap, and I'll be like, I'll ask my cat, and I'll see like, hey, should I pull? And the cat says, yeah, pull, and then I'll blame him. I blame him. You know?
That's
What
amazing.
about you, Caleb?
Yeah, I just think all of our accounts are so mature now with everything that we've accumulated. Day one gold pass players or whales that joined during the pandemic, starting from scratch and trying to be at a competitive level was near impossible unless you have serious investment of money at the point. So play for fun would be my advice if I had 10 minutes to talk to someone.
Wow.
And then meaningful strategy would be around the daily selects. I'd point them in the direction of Sammy's little quick daily selects strategy. And that's probably a good starting place.
I think that's a really good point in that, to me, the most valuable resource isn't rubies. It's high-end tickets, because as long as you have it once, you could take anything, and that really distorts your sandbox, as Kevin Garrett had mentioned, which I think is a good analogy. Again, you can make anything your it, and we kind of talked about it a little bit here. I also mentioned it the last video around the brown off-roader. Somebody made that their great card because of the hitbox, which made total sense, but it wasn't on anyone's top 10 list. But however many, 16, 18, 20 tracks, whatever it had, that's the best card for your 20 tracks. So you could make anything that brown off-roader, in my analogy. So I think those high-end tickets are the most valuable resource. And that's why the daily selects are so crucial. And also why when your shop gets shut down, how it's so debilitating. It's literally depressing because you're like, I just want those tickets. Just give me those tickets. And so the most valuable resource in the game is still RNG to a certain extent, minus or plus that lever that they pull on that dam. But I do think from that perspective, that's probably my biggest advice to go along with what you're saying, Callum, is agreeing with you. Two would be, do take a look at coin boxers. You're not going to go wrong. Any investment in a coin boxer is going to be a solid investment. You're not going to regret that. I've regretted other investments I've made, but I think that one's going to be always a solid investment. Now, taking something to 7, a little premature. You might regret having, because it could come in a pipe later on, but it's never gonna be a bad decision. You just you might lose a little bit of value. Anyone else have maybe 1 or 2 other pieces of advice for somebody that started a month ago?
Maybe don't take rank up that seriously. Don't expect to win everyone. Don't dump all your tickets on, the gold train, I can win ranked if I do it, and then you'll never use it again. That's what I basically did the first year. I only looked at rank up, and ever since I've started playing ACR, I've been seeing more patterns of really valuable items. And to me, like early whales, like Studfit probably knows, or well, wait, you joined later. So like the Wild Black and the Rose Queen and the Happy Ride, they've been like clutch. I don't even have the Rose Queen. Wild Black is level
same
1
here.
for me. I've never got any of those cards because I've never invested in them. And the Crawley card I didn't buy last year. It's still level 4 for me. So my inventory is so different because I just look at coverage, and that's why the Rami Runner at the time, and it's just the game. It's so hard to like explain 2 years of knowledge to a person who just started because they will get overwhelmed regardless. What I would do is I would just give them like the Kart Life link, and I put them Carlos and Frenzy Fans and all of this, and just go ahead and see whatever. But that's
I'd
how,
also,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was. You should finish your point.
What I was gonna say is because I played the game like maybe 3 or 4 weeks on my own, and then there was this one challenge, and it said take out a sidestepper, and I had no idea what it was, but I needed those grand stars. I was like, what is a sidestepper? So I was like, oh, let me Google it. So I Googled it, and then I don't even know what channel I came up with, and then I came up. Well, then I got my answer. It's just I felt so stupid. I was like, oh, it's just a crab, you know. And then I got like all these videos recommended from like Pipeholes and Hyrai and Carlos, and then it was like all in that, and then
that's awesome.
That was like maybe even more fun than playing the game. I was enjoying watching people spend money and like getting stuff, but I think if you do start now, I think you will have a better time and more fun pulling the pipes because remember. The first time we got a 50 pipe was the bros, the tour with like classic Luigi and classic Mario, and it was the whole thing. So then, and all that we would have 2 new drivers, one in week 1 and one week 2, all 6 high ends, all 100 pipes. So I think if you decide to start the game now and you just choose your right pipes, that would be my advice. Just look at what the best value is. Go for the special pipes maybe only, or
I was going to say like
it's
450 rubies, 450 rubies, 450 rubies. You know,
yeah.
Don't think you can just YOLO your way to the top.
That's what I did my first year.
It's a low no.
I just did like 2 pulls or 3 pulls per tour, and I just got whatever I got. And
the reason I never got Hakama until last year was like I loved him when he first came out second tour or was it second tour of Tokyo.
Yeah.
But I was quickly starting to figure out. Wait, I'm going to need 450 rupees to guarantee the thing I want. I don't have that right now.
Yeah.
I waited till the winter, and that was when like PGP came out, and that was when I did my first pipe drain.
And I didn't get PGP.
Yeah.
The fun thing is that Tokyo tour, I remember I went for Kimono Peach because I loved her, and Coinbox, no one knew how good it was. I didn't know shit about scoring. And
right.
I did 1 temple and I got Kimono Peach, and I was like, wow, hooked. And then Paris tour, I got Vacation Peach in the first temple, and I was like, wow. So ever since then, I just did 1 temple every tour until the Ice tour, and that's when I got in trouble. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. Well, this was a good. I think we really got a good conversation going. I know that there was one question that Kart Life you posed that I thought was really really important. That could also take a long time. I know as we're winding down, I think we still have another maybe 20 minutes, and I think this could take up a good chunk of that. But I think your question is around bot aggression. Do you want to phrase it for us?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for the whole 2 years, every tour, someone on the Discord says, does it just mean the bots seem more aggressive than last tour? And it happens every tour. And I guess that behind the scenes we speculate. I mean, I think people in the data mining community might have more to say about this, and we could kind of infer from what they've said, but how the AI learns from us to some extent. But I just thought, maybe we could each share our most infuriating bot moment of the tour. Like for me, it was I don't know if they're getting harder or not. It seems like on some days, especially the first day of the tour, they're harder. And we all have our theories about this, and then you grind them out. But even grinding out the badge bots, some people say that the badgeless bots can have random moments where they're just as ruthless as the badge bots. I had 2 moments this tour. One was a bot sniped a pumpkin out from in front of me when it was the only the pumpkin was the only thing that was going to keep my combo. I was counting on the pumpkin, and out of nowhere, boom! A green shell hits the pumpkin, and some bot sniped it out from in front of me.
I thought someone threw a pumpkin at you. I'm like, what? That's a crazy bot.
They're like, they weren't aiming at me; they were aiming at the pumpkin, and they killed my combo.
Right.
And then on Rainbow Road just last week, it goes in these like patterns. I'll have to maybe draw it, but like there's like 90-degree perpendicular lines on the track. And you wrap back around, and so I'm going like
this is gonna be riveting for the podcast.
So I'm going around here. I'm going around here, right, like this. I come back around here, and a bomb cannon hits me from the side.
Oh God!
Like a bot hammered into the wall, shot a bomb cannon off the side of the track. And hit me off the left side.
Wow!
And we know about the bomb cannon, like doing crazy stuff when the AI has it that we can't do. But that was just like a whole nother level. I just threw my phone out. Anyway, do you guys think the bots are getting more aggressive as the game goes on? I guess is the question.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think, for me, it's a mindset thing. If I'm just relaxing, racing, not caring about getting hit, I'm not getting upset and I don't notice it as much. But then when something like that happens, you're like, you have your combo, you need the score, and you're like, I want it. And then you get hit, you'll get extra frustrated and you remember that more. But when you just casually grind out the races, and if you then get hit, I'm like, because you're not going for that combo, so you don't care as much.
Yeah.
Sure, the bots are harder now than they were 2 years ago. So yes, they learn from us, and you see the multiplayer lines. When you see a bot do a burnout at the start, that just means someone's bagging for a lightning, because that's one of the multiplayer strats to get the lightning. So it's So they're getting smarter, but I'm always trying to not let it affect me as much, because when it does, the game isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, and you do kind of have to work with them. Like if you're doing Lucky 7 grinding, you kind of want the aggressive bots, and then just learn to save that item ticket for like the last 20 seconds of the race. Man, Frenzy Fanboy has posted some hilarious runs of just losing everything at the end, And we've all been there where like, I should have saved my item ticket for the last 5 seconds just for protection. And I've learned to do that for sure. I remember Carlos used to start every race with an item ticket. I was like, dude, save them. You're going to get hit by a bot.
Yeah.
Wow.
What about you, Callum, and Knights?
Yes, so I had I got Mario Kart Tour blue shell on the line of my Rainbow Road team run last week, but luckily I did crawl over the line in first. That was my record score as well, so I was very close to throwing my phone out the window, but made it through luckily. It's probably the worst one this tour.
I agree with Anke with the mindset thing.
Or you're trying to enjoy a new track and check it out.
Like you were saying, Sammy, in the
What's
beginning
that
of the tour, people find it to be like the most. But I find that to be like a mindset thing, because when you're doing the beginning of the tour, you're trying to get every Grand Star and just try to finish the race so you can get your free pipes and stuff. Exactly, and then like when you're in that moment, all the bots keep messing you up. It's like, I want to get to my free pipes already so I can start pulling and stuff. And then that's when you start getting angry. It's like that's literally what I do all the time. I come to get these Grand Stars. I just want to get through this already. So I don't feel like doing these tracks again. I just want to get a score and get out of here. And then like the bots keep slowing you down. So I think that's why you see it in the beginning of the tour. But overall, I don't see it like becoming like a problem. I kind of see it as like individual races. So like RMX Choco Mountain is like one of the worst, where you'll always get cut off, like because those like complete U-turns. You'll always get cut off no matter what. No matter what, the batch will always show up.
Penguins.
But like this week, Rosaline's Ice World, I find it to be the dumbest race ever, because and it's a good race. It's the best race one of the best races in the game. The bats are stupid. No matter what, they will always just fall behind the hit walls. They don't even like take the lines right.
Oh man!
And sometimes that's annoying, because I was on Rosa. Exactly, they hit the penguins. They're slowing down, and it's so annoying because like I was trying to get like a Tanooki tail crank Tanooki Box Frenzy like over and over. Like, I want to get a Tanooki Box Frenzy, and then it's like I cannot bag for life me because the box keeps staying in the back of me.
Oh yeah.
But like,
You'll get a random hit that you don't even know what hit you.
I see a shy guy like going into the wall in a straight line, and then he turns this way. Somehow his green shell just goes straight for me when he's going this way, and it made no sense. I was like,
I've had it once on like those Rainbow Roads, like the ones that are in Discord, the one with gold bones. It wasn't rank up one time, and
exactly.
we all needed like a good score.
And you shoot
those are the worst for me because you have the glider part, and you're holding that single box, and you're waiting to pop it, and then lightning will hit you right. And it happened so many times that at one point I was just like, because it's like the second lap, you had the perfect one, the coin frenzy, the single box, the coin box, and then you're holding that last single box like, oh, I cannot use it right now because I'm in the air. And then it's like, gone.
I will give the advice, though, to anyone who's struggling with it, that a lot of times if you just, bots are going crazy on this track right now, I'm going to leave this track, I'm not going to play it right now. Go do something else. Go, work on your alt up somewhere else, and then you come back to that track, and on a random time, sometimes the bots are fine. It just keep re-rolling and trying different things. I really have found that helps. Like, okay, this is not the time I'm supposed to grind this track right now,
What I also do is, like, with Maple T, so I have Santa Bowser there, level 7 double cap, I also Luigi Painter, and it's an easy track to get your 200 actions. I'm not running it with Santa Bowser anymore. I'm just going with Luigi Painter and just get hit and fall down in the glider part. I don't care. Just get 2 lucky 7 fences and you have your 200. I don't care. Just give me 200 actions.
Well, as long as you can end in first, though. As long as you can end in first.
Yeah, that's the good part about lucky 7.
Yeah.
Oftentimes. No, I mean, that is a good tip for, though, a beginner is that, there is a point of diminishing return once you get to 200 actions. You don't get those bonuses. So something to put out there, because I don't think everyone knows that. Just beginners to just take note of that.
Look at the action count. Yeah.
Action count is king. That's another big tip there for you, too. I think from my perspective, and then I'll hear from other people, too, I do have a hypothesis that the frenzy odds might be a little better as you're beginning a new track, and then it becomes a little more difficult. I know Angelita and I have talked about that, and I do believe that is a thing where there's like just a hair, like we're talking about 1%, 2% higher chance of getting a frenzy. But I think the bots are always kind of all about the same. But I do think that there's times where I get all the badge bots off of there, and then I have like these unbadged bots that are. And for those beginners, since we're catering a lot to that comes to a badgeless bot is when you start the game and you don't see a badge next to their name at all, and it's just like it's blank. That's what we're talking about with badgeless bots. But there's been times where I've had badgeless bots been aggressive and cut in front of me, and there's other times where I have like all the badges are there, but I know like with DK Pass RT this week, the first jump I had on it, like the very first time I raced that track. I think I hit something or fell down, and I was like still in first pretty comfortably. And I was like, okay, all right. So the bots are not like whatever the arrangement is, badge or badgeless. Like they're just not aggressive this track. And so there's been other times I think last week with Ghost Valley where like I had all the badges released, and I was still like ending up like I was having a hard time staying in first. So. Just be aware. Just like remember, like I want to grind down these badges, but at the end of the day, get a good feel for: am I having a comfortable lead or am I not? Because that's really what.
And does it work on this track?
Yeah,
does it work on this track?
Same thing with Boomerang. If you are trying to get that second tier coin box driver on that track, that coin box driver has to be an aggressive bot to stay in front. And if it's not, there's so many times where like, oh great, they're in first place right off the starting block, and then they either do a stall start or they just goof around or whatever, and you're just like, oh come on, dude. You're like, I've been grinding for this one moment. Just stay in front for this one box.
Or they hold the box and don't pop it for a whole lap. That happens.
Yeah, and there's other times where I'm not even necessarily even using a Boomerang driver. I'm using like the Lucky 7 driver, but the bot that is aggressive is a coin box driver. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to reset here a couple times just for fun. I mean, for Lucky 7, it doesn't really matter what kind of badges you have. So there's a couple times where I would just reset from there and find a way to make sure I'm hitting the box at 7. And coin box, and I'm hitting people, and as I'm going through, swiping these because like as they're like wobbling around, and there's like the coins are still coming out, and you've got like 20 coins all around them. you're on your frenzy, you just swoop in, grab a bunch on your way through. So there's ways like that you can take advantage of these badges. I was expecting this update to be a little bit more intense when it came to the AI, but my opinion, and again I could be wrong, I haven't played the game as much as I was, is that like the AI hasn't really improved as much as I was expecting it to. There's some frustrating moments, there's no doubt about that, but overall, I don't see the AI just making things too crazy, too insane for the best. Any other points there for badges, bots, and bots in general?
Yeah,
Great
I wish
question.
I was recording one of the races I did this week. I was the Rosalina Ice World T, and I just got Pink Gold Peach to like level 7 because it was just a good week to do it. And I started off the race solid, and I ended up getting like a coin box frenzy, a coin frenzy, and I was going into the second lap with like 58 coins, and then I got the blue shell. And then, like, subsequently, like, I really thought it was, like, an inside joke. Like, I just got beat up to where I ended the race in 7th place with 6 coins. Like, it was just one thing.
My.
Oh, that's horrible.
There's nothing I could do. I was, like, literally just like, what's going on? Like, I put my phone down.
Oh, my.
I was just like, I'm just blowing
Yeah,
up.
that's
like,
Yeah. For me, the first race I did on Rosalina T, like, when I start grinding a track, I need to, like, see the lines, and, like, okay, this is how it goes, this and that. So I'm not ready for the run, the first try.
Yeah.
I'm just not. I get a triple coin frenzy my first try, but my lines are all over the place, and I'm, like, dropping comma, like, why? First the double coin, first lap, and I was like, oh my god, if they give me the third one now, I was gonna be mad. And I only ended up like getting 180 actions. I'm like, wait, last tour I got like 180 with double coin, what's going on? So I was just, well, I got like a 50k, it's fine, but it seems like the first try, it's random, but sometimes it just feels like on some tracks, that first try, they'll just give you that little extra. But I'm never ready for it. I don't want it the first try. I'm not. Yeah. You're close.
Do you think there's like a cooldown? Because sometimes I feel like if I put the game down for a while, and I just randomly hop on, I start getting runs, like back to back. Like this tour, I'm trying to go for like top 100, and I'm already at 1.4 million. It's like impossible. But I'm almost there, but I'm struggling, man. But like I was doing like runs, and then I just randomly woke up in the morning. I'm like, I feel like trying for a few times. I start getting a run on every single track that I just try on the first or second try, just out of random. I'm like, whoa. So like I got all these high scores.
Frenzy hour.
Frenzy hour. I always say that. It's frenzy hour right now.
Like
Let's go to the game.
I believe that.
Like Sammy was saying
Me
earlier,
too.
just come back to it later. Just like a cooldown time, or like there used to be this guy, I'm sure Studfit remembers him, in the JC channel, where he said there's like a hot hour.
Yeah.
Where exactly like a hot hour.
Yeah.
For some reason, it just feels like a friend's like exactly me too.
I
It
also,
feels like there's a bunch of frenzy just coming out of nowhere. But then,
I do
like,
think if they did have a coin
another
hour,
later,
that would
green
cause
green show,
and like even if they were
oh my god, stop! Where's the coin
like
frenzy? It's like
I think it would actually
it's
cause
like not
people
my
to
hot
play
hour
the
if
game
I
more
put the
often.
game
It's
down
like,
and
hey, I
then
wonder
come
if
back to it
now's the
later.
point.
So I feel
I'll
like
just
it's
get
like
2
a
runs in
cooldown
here,
thing, or like
and then
something
like
where it's like
oh no,
the
it's not
game
here.
triggers,
And
like,
then like an
at a
hour later,
certain
you're like
time. It's not the
sitting
same
somewhere,
for
you're like,
everyone, 'cause then they'll
I
go
wonder if
see
now's the
other
coin hour.
people doing it.
You pop pull back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Exactly.
I don't know
Like,
if it's a
even sometimes
mindset
I'll start
thing, or
grinding
because
in the
runs
morning
for
when
me
I wake
always
up
seem to happen when
for
I'm
work.
just
I'm like trying on
casually like,
breakfast,
oh,
it's
let
like I
me
don't
try
get
this
anything,
track
but
just
then
one
when
time. I know
on the
there's
road,
like
I'm like,
5k left, just
I'm
let's
on
try
break.
it, and then you're like,
No, I'm
oh,
try
I
first
got
try.
it.
Like a few
But
hours
if you're
later,
going
it's
on
like
a track like
I
I
get a run. It's
need
like what?
to
Where'd
get
it come
this
from? Another bad
5k,
buster box
then you're
screwed me up.
not getting it. So
So I think it's just random.
I don't know.
Cooldown.
Well, here's a good question from John Boy, and also it kind of ties in something you see Carlos. Carlos doesn't grind down bots at all. Neither does John Boy. So he asks if the rates actually drop by a good margin with races with badge bots. Meaning you grind down the badge bots, and the frenzy rate actually gets lower. Does that make sense?
I don't think they would be.
I've heard that before too. Carlos gets these crazy runs. I'm like, how did he do that? He just jumped right in.
You know what the difference is? What happens is, what I've noticed, if you have a badgeless bot race, you know what you'll do? You'll go to the first item box, and if it's not a coin frenzy or a single box or a coin box, you'll reset.
Yeah.
And that's all you'll see of that race. It feels like, oh shit, I'm not getting anything. I'm resetting 100 times, but maybe in that one reset you would have gotten the triple coin box frenzy in the second, the fourth, and the sixth box. You never know. And that's why I personally always just race it all the way through, because if your badges are gone, they stay gone. Maybe you'll get like one or two back. And if you're forcing runs and resetting up until the first box, what happens to me, I've tried it. Like I had the badgeless bot and like, let's do it. And then you're resetting like 200 times. And then all of a sudden you'll get that coin box frenzy in the first box. But then I forget the lines.
Yeah.
Because all I've been doing is racing up until that box. So it doesn't work for me. So I don't grind out the bots and then force reset till I get it. I just race every race, and then if I get it somewhere, then unless it's a boomerang boombox situation, of course, then you need to reset till you get the boomerang. It's a different story.
Yeah, I will say on that point, most of the time when I jump on, and hopefully I'll be able to, I can do some streaming stuff with you guys for fun, because I think I on my pull video I did just some like wake up runs, and people were like criticizing my lines. So I think I need to like prove myself. I actually am. I can drive half decent. But anyway, anytime I'm jumping on a track, I always get at least 2 full runs, unless I'm starting in that first block. If I'm starting the first block, then I'll reset just from there. But otherwise, I'm going to finish 2 runs just to get familiar with the track, just warm up, get my lines down, and then sometimes I'll, and then if my third run or fourth run is like in like last place, I might finish those out too until I'm like in a respectable, because you could get coin boxing like, you know, as a third. In fact, I think Comtrues, I remember him mentioning that the best spot to get coin box is like 3 and 4. So there's even times where I'm like, I'm good. If I can get through at 3 and 4 and I got a coin box driver, I'll do it. If I don't have a coin box driver, it's a coin, then, I might have to wait till I get to that first block. But if it's lucky 7, that's probably my third or fourth run. I'm just going to reset. But I mean, I'm rarely ever badgeless, but I'm all the time like just getting rid of at least one badge or 2 badge. Because I'm with you. Those lines, you could, and I think my personal opinion on that is the reason that they give you those great increased frenzy runs the first time you're jumping on a track is because they know you're going to lose probably a good 10, 12 actions just from being totally clueless about where, the lines on the track and forgetting those that direction. So, yeah, I'm with you there. Anyone else want to add to the opinion on frenzy rates going down as the badges go up?
Yeah, I kind of thought about that, like, with the cooldown thing. You're grinding so long with the badge bots that your cooldown is, like, you're hot right now, so you're not going to be able to get those frenzies. Like, that's why I kind of think that is a theory. But I also agree because I usually leave, like, sometimes I'll leave, like, one badge bot, and some people are like, why are you leaving that badge bot? I kind of, like, observe that 1 or 2 badge bots because I'm going to watch their behavior. If they're going to be like really aggressive and always jumping in front of me or catching up randomly, then I'm going to ditch the run. Because I do believe that having no badge bots does mess up your frenzy. Sometimes I'll get all gone and all of a sudden I'm just getting banana, green, horn. It's like, it's annoying because it just gives you the junk. But I'll observe that one badge bot. If he's starting in the back, he's getting like shot by the other bots. Then I kind of just leave him in there so he can. I can use that run to get frenzies. But my brother, Whitmo, he observed something. He's like, he notices that the badgeless bots go after the badge bots. So if you have just a few of them in there and they're starting in the back, they'll always keep them in the back. And I've noticed that too, like, they'll always just be attacking the badge bot. I don't think you guys can observe that in the future if you like, but I've kind of noticed it too, and that's why I always like kind of stick with the one badge bot rule. Just leave him in there and hope he's not going to mess you up. But that we have noticed that like the badge bots will just keep targeting that one badge bot. Eventually, they will shoot you too. And people need to realize that that the bots are always just going to keep getting items. They are going to get smart lines and like getting random speed boosts and stuff, but they are going to get blue shells. They are going to get lightning at random time. They are rolling items each race, and they're always going to be different.
With the badge
so
bots
you will
is
get
that
red shells
they
eventually.
usually only
in your
carry
triple
one
coin
item.
bots,
The badge bots will be like mid-tier, so they will get 2 red shells or like this and that. And if like a badge bot has only 1 red shell and you're in first, and
I do feel like
the odds are better,
one
but
badge bot helps the frenzy rate
it's
stay up
just
a little
I don't know.
bit
It's a
more.
guessing game of like
Yeah.
I think the frenzy odds. In 2 years, if I would have counted like how many frenzies I would have got in a day, it's probably on average the same every day. Like it's not, there's nothing depending on it. It's just how it feels. If you're frustrated and you want the frenzies, you're not getting them, and if you're doing casual, you're getting them. And I don't know.
Yeah, just keep that finger on that ticket button, guys. Seriously, and save it for the end.
How am I supposed to race? Like,
I got a whole system, but I mean, I use my fingers weirdly, as some of you guys know. I hold it in a way so that my left pointer finger is already at the top of the screen, especially on a good run. I'll readjust.
I do. I race like that too.
Oh, with your pointer finger?
No. I race with 2 thumbs, but then my this one is already ready to go.
That's why.
I race like that.
That's why you have carpal tunnel broken fingers, because you have your finger this.
Well, they're okay. They're okay. Well, I have my my.
Oh yeah, it's finger gloves. That's
Yep.
You guys
I have them on.
break your fingernails?
I have.
I always break my fingernail.
From racing?
Yeah.
How do you race?
I was like, I don't know.
Are you using a pointer?
I have
Are you a pointer or
Use your point?
No, you said it was your thumb.
I'm
Oh,
thumb.
it is my thumb.
Because you pull,
That's right. It is my thumb. So when I drift, I like use my fingernail. I think.
but she drags the fingernail across the screen, and it like pulls it back a little bit.
You know
and
what
just
you
pulls it
should
over.
do? You should go to Amazon and buy these, and then it's all.
those
Those are good. They're good.
Okay.
They're like.
Carlos uses them. I tried them. They're good.
One time, like I was
will
racing, and the doorbell rang, and I opened the door like this, and they looked at me like they didn't ask, but they were like, "What are you?"
That is the only
like,
downside to them is like I'm a father, so I have to I play this game like as mentioned like in the bathroom,
I have a
at the
kid
park.
too.
So I mean while the boys are playing, I play at the park. I'm not gonna put them on my thumbs. You know what I mean? I'm not.
No. I don't take
too
them
vain,
with,
I guess.
No.
But
I mean, I can race without them, but just for the strain on my thumbs and the pressure on the screen, it's better to use the gloves.
there are times where my thumb is like it just has some moisture in it or something, and I feel like my fingers is like actually grinding against the screen. I throw one of those things on, it slips around perfectly. It's great. But there are other times where my hands are real dry, and I don't feel like I need it. And
do you have a glass protector on your screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good.
There's
if
also,
you don't have it, then you're gonna break your phone.
Again, to go back to like the mindset and kind of like, bringing a calm energy to it. Like I mentioned the analogy before, like a great bass player. Like you play bass really fast, not through like tensing up, but through actually relaxing your fingers. So if you focus on like the game doesn't know how hard you're pressing on the screen. It just knows where you're touching. So you can do everything you are doing with a light touch. You just have to kind of train yourself to do it.
It's also funny. I would like some people when they have a frenzy, they like tap 1,000 times, like frenzy. But you only have 16 actions, so you just need to press 16 times. So
that's a good point.
I don't know.
I to be honest with you, I was still like tapping with a coin box frenzy, even though I didn't need to. I was like still like because I'm like just in case.
I did too.
Huh?
Wait,
I didn't even realize. I think I do that.
Yeah, I was tapping,
No,
but I
I
stopped
think
doing that about like 2 weeks
Well,
ago.
you
don't
need
need
to
to tap
tap
for
during
it?
a frenzy,
You don't need to tap with a coin box frenzy.
but then you won't get the frenzy action.
Frenzy actions.
Yes, the coins will go out, but you don't get the frenzy
Studfit.
action.
Really?
Yeah, and that's like
Because
13.
because
okay.
tap.
It's okay.
Or
Stuff
like
just
Mario
learns to
Kart
drift.
Tour.
So.
Now we
Yeah.
know why.
Oh, no
now
wonder
we
my
know
Ghost Valley score was so terrible. I'm glad
Now
you
we
guys said
know
that.
why you got 101.
I was wondering
Oh
why
my
it's so
God.
terrible.
So
Oh
what
my
do you
God.
do? You just let the frenzy run. You'll be like, oh, I have
That's
a
what I was
break.
doing
No.
for this Ghost Valley because I was like, I didn't want to like
every
swerve,
time you
'cause I was
try to
like,
get
my
frenzy
coin box
action.
frenzy was going everywhere. But that's, I mean,
Who-
for a long
who-
time I was.
Yeah,
tapping.
you gotta
Yeah, but
tap.
who told you that? Who told you?
Oh gosh, what the heck?
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
You probably
Mhm.
didn't. You probably didn't
I
notice.
see. Yeah.
Well, plus
Because you
some
have
frenzies
invincibility
don't get
with
frenzy
combos
actions,
with a
right?
frenzy.
No, you always
Your
get
combo
the
will not-
frenzy
I kinda
action,
tested this.
but like,
Long as
Your
you
combo
tap.
will not
Oh,
drop
really?
no matter
Oh,
what.
yeah.
Up to
If
16.
you have a frenzy, like if you
Yeah.
tap once,
like
and
with
then
with
nothing
with,
happens.
with a
and then you
hard
tap at the end of the
frenzy,
frenzy,
with a hard
your
frenzy,
combo
you
will
won't
stay.
get like
Even
hard
if it like goes to like a
action.
time
It's only
span of where
frenzy
it would
action.
drop.
So frenzy
With-
actions are guaranteed
That's probably why
16
you
every
didn't notice.
frenzy.
Plus the coins.
If you
like,
press
running
it
like a
16
roller.
Yeah,
times,
as long as you
yeah,
press-
yeah.
Stuff
think
is
it's
just
slow.
chilling over here.
I was like,
They always will. No,
It's alright. Stuff that just learned how to
trigger
drift.
the
How to
item.
I,
drift.
like I
So we'll
said,
give them.
I
Exactly.
started doing that with Ghost
It's to
Valley because I
trigger the
was like
item.
swerving
But
around
coin
too
box
much,
doesn't.
and so it's only been like 2
Wow.
weeks since I.
You know,
I
you
got
know
away
what
from
the
it.
you know what the
But-
best thing is with Coinbox, and you do manual drift, right? You don't.
I manual. Mm-hmm.
Do you use the
I don't use the button.
Because I know
That's fine.
when I have a Coinbox frenzy, I don't steer. I just tap. I need to go straight. I just tap. And when you don't have like manual, if you have manual and you're not steering, and you tap, you hop.
Right. Well, I
Right?
got the steer. Yeah, but I go the
hop?
steer. We have
Yes.
the steer button.
Well, you
So
like
it-
hop. If you're not drifting and
Yeah, you
you're
hop.
manual and you have a frenzy, then you hop. Like in
Yeah,
when
you
your
hop.
cart-
But to do what you're saying, we
Yeah.
just go down to the steer button.
Yeah, but he doesn't do that. He just said that.
I just,
Yeah.
I
And
just
that's
tap for
what
the
I'm-
frenzy. I have been up until 2 weeks ago, just tapping for the frenzy.
Yeah, but
you're-
you need to. If there's a Coinbox, use the steering button. So
Mm-hmm.
you just.
But I always feel like I'm gonna like as I'm drifting, accidentally hit that steering button. That doesn't bother you at all?
No, because I use the drift button like for drifting,
Well, I don't use
and then
like
what?
I drift by moving my thumb
From-
right and left.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when you have that Coinbox frenzy, you can just press that you it's the button isn't in a place where you drift. You drift above it.
Oh, I drift right there.
I think. I don't know. I use the button, so
Anke,
yeah. Yeah. Unless your name is Carlos and you can hop do
Right.
that.
He's
I cannot.
crazy hopper. Yeah, he goes for those red ones really well.
Yes.
So, but interesting.
Yeah.
So I'll have to play around with that. But I
That's
typically just
that's
stay
exactly
straight
what
and
I
I
do,
just tap.
Anke. Like,
No, you
anytime
don't
a coin
tap,
box
you just
frenzy,
hold it.
The best
Well,
way
it
to
started 2
go
weeks
is in
ago.
a straight line.
With,
I find everything just
before I was
gathers,
tapping.
unless it's
But yeah, going
going
straight is
tokens.
100% the best way to do it.
But
Oh god.
Sammy D, how do you stay in like Zen mode during frenzies? Because I get.
Oh, that's a
I,
good one. Good
I
question.
play with my whole body. Like I had to stop playing the gyro mode
Well,
because
Coinbox,
like,
You're like,
Coinbox, yeah, Coinbox Frenzy. Yeah, I mean, it depends. If it's Lucky 7, it can get pretty wild. But Coinbox Frenzy, I do try to channel my inner Carlos and get better every single time at keeping your eye on the red coins. So I'm usually looking at my driver and the whole track. But when I'm in Coinbox, I look ahead of me on the track. And I only look at red coins, and every individual red coin, I'm using that steer button to just do little tiny moves, and that kind of focuses me and calms me to do that. So
You know what the thing is with the red coins? They always fall straight and ahead of you. As long as
Yeah,
you
they
have
never go
your
out to the
cart
side.
straight, they
Yeah.
will land. But
Yeah,
if you
last
have a
weekend-
corner, then it's like it's still like it's
it can be weird.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes you could drop $1 to pick up a dime. You know, in that respect, it's like sometimes you try to go for that red coin. Next thing you know, you're coins are going over here, you're going
Yeah.
over there, and it can be kind of
But if
chaotic.
you- yeah.
If you could do like a little slight little jump here or jump there, like Carlos does, that's mastering it. But
Yeah.
I think 9 times out of 10, mostly just kind of stay straight. You're
But
guided a
I
little
get
bit if
it-
need be.
Yeah. If I get a triple coin box frenzy by the last one, I'm shaking. I cannot race anymore. A couple tours ago, I was doing Maple 3-way reverse, and I was over 200 actions, and I was just entering lap 2. I took a screenshot, and I was like, I cannot do lap 2. I paused, I swiped up my game, and I was like, okay, what do I... Because I was already at 200. I knew I was going to get messed up in lap 2, and I was. I dropped combo like 10 times, but I was like, I'm already at 200. I didn't even get another frenzy. I finished the race at like 260. No, I only got 60 actions. I didn't. I just messed up.
Wow.
You finished first
Wow.
though.
Yeah, I finished
you
the
finish
race,
first?
but like,
Oh.
I think I finished first. But like with drop combo, I think even after 200 actions, I don't think it's like that big of an impact if you drop combo. But I think it's best to keep the combo. I'm not sure. That's like a math thing. We need like Tabor for that, but he's not here, so sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, too bad. We definitely miss Tabor. I put my name, TUT. Thank you, Tabor. If you guys want to show your support, feel free to do that.
Oh, is that what that is?
That's what
I was
the
like,
tut
what?
is.
I was like, what, why do you
Just
have
a short-
tut,
just a
tut
little-
in your name?
Yeah, just a little shout out to Tabor. We really appreciate it and miss him. And
TUT,
yeah,
tut.
so the TUT, that's what you might see in my name. But
Well, in my language, that means a kiss, a toot.
oh,
So
Ooh.
yeah, that's yeah.
okay. Well, it has, I guess, a double entendre. So I'm kissing Tabor is what you're saying. I like it. So, guys, we are 2 hours and 15 minutes into Kart Life, so we are going to wrap it up. Still have, I think, 5 or 6 more questions to get to, but time flies when you're having fun. I know I have to, actually get running here soon to
It's bedtime here.
oh, I bet. What's it, like 11 p.m., midnight?
Oh, at 10:30. So.
Okay, all right, yeah. Well, hopefully you have enough time to say goodbye to your fans. Maybe we'll start with you,
No,
Anke.
but no. Yes. Well, my fans. I don't have fans, but okay.
You
Well,
got
thank
fans.
you for having me. It was
If
fun.
no one
to be
sees
here.
you ever again, what would you like to say to those viewers who appreciated a girl's voice? And you and Fancy Fan Gals have done a wonderful job in this episode getting the female voice out there. So we really appreciate you both being on there. So what would you like to say to those?
To all the females out there, just please come to Discord and because there's so many guys. We need more girls, and please, no, just enjoy the game. And it's been nice being here and like talking to you guys about the game. And I don't know, I still don't think I have fans. I really don't. But
We're your
the
fans.
thing I want to tell all the Mario Kart people, Donkey Kong. That's it.
Let's go, DK.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
Nintendo
Yeah.
knows now.
Donkey Kong. Yep.
Callum, what would you like to say to those people in case you don't get to see them again?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Thanks for having me, Studfit, and great talking to you guys. To anyone watching, you'll probably see me lurking in the comment section or the live chat of a Studfit video, Sammy D video, Friends Fans video, or Kevin Garrett or Carlos. Enjoy talking Mario Kart with all you guys, and look forward to talking to you in the comment section.
Good to meet you, man. Good to put a face to the
Yeah,
name.
nice to meet you guys too.
Awesome.
What's your game
And
name?
this, what was that?
What's your game name, Callum?
Callum.
Probably Callum.
Call.
Very, very creative.
I don't think our paths have crossed very much lately, so it was good to meet you for the first
Yeah,
time.
nice to meet you.
And that's actually one of the benefits to having this medium, this media source, which is, for me, it's like I have this channel, and with it, I like to just be able to get new voices, new perspectives. The goal would be kind of to start with the super studs tier, then the studs, and this just happened to be, I tried I think, to have like an evening time for those in the United States and like an afternoon time for those who are in Europe to try to kind of cater to their schedules. It just happened to be that most people were working this today, so we branched outside of the memberships and got some other viewers. But I'm really glad we did. We got a lot of great viewpoints, and specifically, I know Knights when we talked a while, you're like, I would love to be on the Kart Talk. How do you get on? And I was like, well, you have to be a member. You're like, oh man, that stinks. Well, we found a way. I'm glad you were able to join us. What would you like to say to those people who you may not be able to talk again to on Kart Talk? Yeah, some solid advice
I
there,
guess,
and like I said, shout out to Wootmoo
just
too. I think
enjoy
he
the
actually
game from here on out.
I tried to think back as to who got my
Maybe one
mind
day you'll
thinking
see
about
me and my brother
hitbox,
here again.
Initially, I probably have to give
But shout out
Wootmoo
to
credit
Wootmoo
for
and
with
everyone else in the other servers
he
who I
was,
told about
was
today.
fascinated with that, and it did take me a while
keep
to get
driving,
used to. But
and,
now I was like the first person,
keep
in my,
pulling.
at least for my thought process, to really get on stage and say like hitbox, hitbox, hitbox. And I still believe it's one of the most important things in this game to keep in mind. So I have to give him credit there where credit is due. Sammy D, why don't you say goodbye and definitely check out Sammy D's channel at Kart Life on YouTube here, and then we'll let Frenzy fans kick us off.
Yeah, have a good one, everybody. And I'm going Team Toad. I think also we didn't touch on it, but
Yeah.
if there's
Team
no
Toad,
if there's
Team
no
Toad. Yes.
if there's no support bonus for the losing team, they haven't announced that there is, like there was last time. Either way, I think Team Toad will win because I think Toadette, even with a bonus, will not have as many people that Peach had. I think Peach won with the bonus, not just because of the bonus, but because a lot of people did go Team Peach. I think Team Toad's the way to go. He's my original favorite character from Super Mario Kart, so I'll have fun with next tour probably either way. But we'll see you all in the next Kart Life video. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll probably be going Toddy as well. So, Frenzy fans, why don't you say
Toddy
goodbye and wrap us up and with your famous slogan.
All right. Well, thanks for having us on. We appreciate it every time. And until the next one, may the frenzies be forever in your favor.
See you guys later.
See you guys.
See ya. Bye. Bye. Bye.